Getting this train started.
I clicked OBS. We're live now. I clicked OBS and it was like, no, I think I'll just load for 2 seconds. But we're good. Hopefully.
Hi everybody. My name is Mike Berard. I'm Mike J. Darkson Berard. GM Mike, if you like. And I'm here to see what these people, these players, these friends of mine are going to be doing in this new 5e campaign that we're kicking off. We're calling it Knights of the Ashen Empire. It takes place in a fictional setting of our own design, collaboratively created through the 6 of us, 1/6 of us not present here tonight. Our illustrious Aaron, who is doing something a little bit more boring and starsy than we are. And let's go ahead and introduce everybody. And I'm going to do a thing where, like the way that I start off all campaigns, which is be mean to people.
Neat. Hi, my name's Andrew Way, and tonight I will be playing Sen Rathi, a sorcerer, a tiefling sorcerer, who has a very particular class feature, which hopefully is fun to play.
Hi, I'm Jordan. Tonight I will be playing the dwarf fighter Vashla Stormforge. I am bodyguard to Sinrathi, who I will probably refer to as Your Holiness.
I hate you.
I think that's the point. Hi, I'm Zach. I'm going to be playing Yorha, who is a resurrected barbarian of weird holy order.
Glory to mankind.
Glory to Rona.
And hi, I'm Adam. I'll be playing Fritz, the gnome arcanist. Artificer, that's the word. Who is apparently in charge of this merry band of people.
Is it just me? Or are you going? I'm going robotic for everybody else? Or is it just me?
I think that's the artificer filter.
Yeah.
The artifilter?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You're fine now.
Really? Okay,
Yep.
yeah, I wasn't doing anything.
Weren't you?
Apparently. Just close some things till it works.
Yeah, I'm in the process of doing the same thing just in case. Also, in case you weren't here for the last time we were talking stuff, Roll20 and Chime aren't getting along too terribly well. So we are...
Chime?
Discord?
What's the other thing I use this just to see? Chrome.
Oh, yes.
Don't sorry.
I know it.
Chime is my internal meeting tool. So there's that. And I am relaunching that now, so you should see me not momentarily. Was there a title change that we were going to do, or are we good with what we at?
Knights of the Ashen Empire?
Cool. All right. So you all are have introduced yourselves. You know where you are, where you come from. If you don't remember who these people are or what we're doing here, please refer to the previous session. That is up on the internets, and it tells you everything you need to know, basically. We do a lot of world building. We talk a little bit about where these characters come from. We talk a little bit about why they're here. We do character connections, bonds, that sort of thing. It's all very Powered by the Apocalypse-y sort of thing, or a lot of Dresden Files-y. That's all a bit of design, because those systems are awesome, and I love them. And I think that they bring a little something the French call I don't know what to all sorts of these games.
Did you see that thing on Twitter? I'm already derailing us. So basically, a lady was working at a bar, and a guy was being a drunk guy at a bar, and was like, "Do you know what je ne sais quoi means?" And she's like, "I don't know what." And then he's like, "Yeah, I don't either, but it's French for like a certain something." And it's just
nice. Yeah, it's also my favorite joke from Austin Powers. Yeah, it's good. It's solid. And I repeat whenever possible. So currently you should see our lovely background of the Purple Lich King. What is this guy's name again? His name is...
I think it's Biff? Or maybe
Understudy?
Maybe it's Tim.
Mantarok.
Bob from Hydra?
Yes. And we are going to change that shortly to something a little bit less lichy. The scene today opens on Um,
Ooh.
a ruinous field. It's the dead of night when you arrive. You know you knew that you were going to get here at the dead of night because you've been traveling for almost 5 days now, and you can see from the ruins that orange-red glow that kind of emanates when the rot has been left to linger for entirely too long. You are standing in front of the ruins of a town called Baza.
Did Baza have a bazaar?
I'm not sure, but the point is that the town is gone now, forgotten to time. Whatever happened to it, it is now lies in ruins, and you're here to cleanse the taint, cleanse the rot that has infected this place. Vashla, you seem like the bodyguard-y type.
Yes.
Yeah, so you're probably going first.
Mm-hmm.
So as you're creeping forward into these ruins to like get a good idea of I see Sinrathi wave a finger.
I just want to say that like I'm probably not far behind, much to
Yeah.
Vashla's chagrin. Because if there's rot, I'm burning it out.
Oh yeah, totally. So
I don't think I would actually be that upset by it. I probably even appreciate that you are someone who is not just going around saying that you're gonna clean stuff away.
But like, I imagine from a physical security and bodyguarding standpoint, I am a frustrating mission.
the night's warm and clear. The moon and the stars are all kind of illuminating the grounds around you. Just step forward through these burned out, desiccated town ruins. Buildings on either side of you fallen, and in here, a farrier there, and the glow seems to be coming from what looks like an old church that's fallen down on the other side. As you get a little bit closer, Vasha, a small creature, kind of wanders out in front of the path that you're walking down. And it's small in the sense that it's smaller than you, and it kind of like, what do you use to see? Do you use torches? Do you have dark vision, or are you just letting the sun and the moon show you what's going on?
I actually kind of figured I had a lantern of some sort.
Tell me about your lantern. Is it like a hooded lantern? Is it just unidirectional?
Yeah, I mean, it's just this metal lantern that I hold up. It might have some engravings from like my tag and stuff. But otherwise it's just an ordinary lantern.
Just an ordinary lantern. Yeah, as you raise your lantern to kind of get a better view of this village and make sure that your footing is safe, this little creature wanders out in front of you. And at a first glance, you think it's a goblin, which is not unusual. Goblins are pretty prevalent in the South, especially after most of society fell. But there's something wrong with this goblin's face. It's kind of downturned in a perpetual grimace, almost like its face has been melted slightly, and its back bulges of its own accord, kind of like a bellows, kind of like it's carrying this huge sack that kind of twists and turns. And as your lantern kind of illuminates it, you see that it's been taken by the blight.
I'm going to halt immediately and alert Sinrathi to what's in front of us.
Now, Vashla, you are a professional at this. You've done this for a long time.
Yes.
And there's no way that you would have willingly gone into this village at night if something hadn't gone horribly wrong the day before. So what was the roadblock that caused you to arrive at this location 12 hours later than you intended? And whose fault was it?
I think it was Yorha's fault. I don't know if we have a cart or anything.
Did we have past tense
Yes.
a cart?
Did we have a cart or something?
Anything that you want, right? This is the cooperative
Okay.
game. If you want a cart, you got a cart.
I think, Mike, you mean anything you want to have lost recently.
Yeah, anything that you want
Whatever
to
you
no
want to
longer
put on the
have.
books as having destroyed, then that was a thing, yes.
He was trying to demonstrate some lost arts with his glaive, I think he has. And he basically cut one of the wheels in half. So we had to repair it and or replace it.
They just don't build them like they used to, clearly.
All right. GM, why are you late? Vashla, Yorha's demonstrators left. So Yorha, it's the thing that martial artists do when they like flip stuff around, like a kai or
Kata.
kata. Yeah, your kata apparently does not has not been as appreciated as you hoped it would be.
Yeah.
But yeah, Vashla, you absolutely have the drop on this thing, and you get the chain. If you want to attack it or cede your turn to Sinrathi or whatever you want, it's your call. You have the token.
Okay. Well, first, after alerting it, has Sinrathi just said anything in response? I guess I'm mostly following her lead. His or her lead. Their lead.
Yeah, I'm thinking Senrathi's probably going to be male, but I haven't 100% nailed that down yet. But anyways, so
Our geography isn't finalized. It's okay.
yeah, yeah. I figure if the world is in flux, then this character can be somewhat too. So the way I purge rot is with the create bonfire cantrip, which just creates like a 5-foot cube of fire. And I imagine like I'm going to try to sweep it over to this goblin when you point it out. And like presumably like I'm also kind of using this lantern as like a targeting reticle, sort of. Like you light it and then I light it.
Yeah, I probably even hold it out if that's like necessary.
Well, I mean, I think you basically just painted the target.
Yeah.
But this is how create bonfire works. Oh boy, it's 1 fire damage. I rolled.
Yay!
Yeah, but can it?
DC 13 dexterity save, I believe.
Yes.
For half of 1 damage.
Okay. So this is the part of 5e that I'm not as familiar with, so you'll have to bear with me a little bit as I figure out how things like dexterity saves work. Do I roll that shit or do you?
You roll that shit.
That's the idea.
Very many of my attacks require you to roll dice and me to botch damage.
Alrighty. This creature's dexterity score is 0, so I'm gonna go ahead and assume that it's just 1d20.
Yep. Diggity.
Oh, I think that's a save.
Yep. Yeah, and save nulls.
Okay.
I was gonna say this is why Sinrathi has a bodyguard.
Well, it's not a combat spell,
No.
right? Like it's not.
It does D8 fire damage.
Sometimes.
Yeah, and just like a weapon does D8 damage sometimes.
Vashla, you got the narrative baton, so you tell me why Sinrathi's attack didn't work. 'Cause this, I think it's up here on the stream now that you can see this kind of this horrible festering thing.
Oh, it's a festering goblin.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's probably fine.
what went wrong?
Sinrathi shot fire next to it instead of on the actual goblin.
So
He needs glasses, actually.
yeah.
Nobody tells him though.
Did I get it?
The Messiah can't be short-sighted.
Yeah, he has glasses. He just refuses to wear them. A bad image.
Yeah.
I probably mutter some sort of like, well done, your holiness, and I go to take a swing at it with my warhammer.
Yes, your highnessness.
Is this helping?
Okay,
Put your lantern away at least.
yeah. I probably hand over the lantern.
Well, there's a bonfire right next to it. How much more light do you need?
I mean, you can see it pretty well now.
I just want you to feel hopeful.
She's also a dwarf with dark vision, so she probably didn't need the fire in the first place.
No, I was just curious.
It's there for the niceties of the people who don't have dark vision.
That's because basically Yorha. So.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, I'm the only one who can't see in the dark.
Oh, okay. So what?
So,
do
Vashla, you
I
can take out your
roll?
warhammer and you get a little bit closer.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe Sinrathi didn't miss because of the nearsightedness, but because they saw the other one lurking in the
Could be.
Yeah.
eaves.
Okay.
Oh, and I like split the difference.
Oh, you wanted me to hit the closer one. I didn't realize that.
All right.
I have
So
no idea what I'm rolling.
if you're going to attack the Warhammer, you open up your character sheet and you click on the
Yep.
Warhammer button, I believe.
It's whether or not you hooked that up or not, but Warhammer's probably going to be D20 plus your strength mod plus your proficiency bonus. So probably like D20 plus 5 or 4. There you go. So does it have an AC of 8?
Certainly not. Oh, yes, AC.
Wow, that doesn't seem likely. Is that right?
What's up?
Okay, so you rolled a 2, and that's why it was
Yeah.
an 8.
Well,
Okay.
she rolled a 4.
Yeah. Yeah, 2 strength and 2 prof bonus.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, I want to make sure that I didn't, do that thing where I create a horribly overpowered encounter rather than that. Yeah, Vasha, so you stride up to the thing and you attack with your hammer, and you hit it. It's not like the thing rolls out of your way, but it doesn't seem to hurt the creature. Like, you've hit things with your Warhammer before. People,
Yeah.
mostly, guys that get too feely, maybe, I don't know. But the thing is that they usually crumple and die when you hit them with your hammer. And this thing, you've caved in its skull, and it just sort of like its teeth falls out, and it kind of like breathes in like a bellows, and closes its mouth and shoots spores out of its back. So I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
So just hit Constitution. Or okay, never mind. I see it.
You might also be proficient in those. Whoa!
Wow, another 4. You're just...
How your
Just
battalion
oh.
died
I-
here.
So
Yeah.
you're shi-
No, I'm
That-
still grief stricken.
You're the new Renee.
Is this like a poison or anything? Because don't dwarves get bonuses against that kind of stuff?
I'm immune to poison.
It's
I would
not
just like to
poison.
point out those are 2 fairly decent results if we're playing Dungeon World.
Yep.
That's true. That's very true.
Yes,
I
which
think
systems?
technically I categorize it as a disease.
Okay.
Yeah.
Diseases are fun.
So we are going to roll again. I think that I need a D100.
My next character is going to be a monk.
Okay, so just D100.
Don't worry, I will save you.
I wasn't sure if I'm rolling it or if you're rolling it, Mike.
I want you to roll. It's way more interesting if you roll something horrible for yourself.
Okay.
I'm sure high is terrible too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure high is.
Now we're
High,
playing golf.
high's not good.
Now you're beating the median suddenly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I do want to say, in Jordan's defense, this is her first time playing Dungeons and Dragons, so it's understandable that you might not be great at rolling dice yet.
That's okay. No. So I rolled some for a friend at her game because she got upset because she kept rolling like 1 or 2. And then I rolled and I got like 18 and 20.
I'm halfway tempted to just start rolling on my desk.
Yeah.
Not in the
Yeah.
least because I have possibly the greatest dice bag ever.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I remember
All right,
that.
Dashla, I have sent you in private
Oh, good.
how you feel about this situation.
Do you have a strange disease?
Wow.
That is a deep cut.
Does Sendrathi have to burn it out of you?
I know.
Do I have to do that now or?
No, that's for you for later.
This is not good at all.
You
So
have
you know it's good stuff.
you have Allened her within the first 5 minutes of a campaign, Michael.
Is that a...
So
Oh
When-
shit, I have!
Yes.
But in the best way possible.
when Aaron comes
you're
back, we're all playing different characters.
Right.
Is that?
Yeah.
We're playing
Oh.
the same characters, but zombie version.
No, we just all wanted to be brought like her.
Fritz, it is the first encounter of this expedition, and shit is going sideways fast, man.
They're just not listening to. I did not give a command to attack. I don't know what they're doing. This is just all wrong.
Then
They're loose cannons. I'll have their badges.
show us how it's done, boss.
I think Fritz will have to provide cover fire here. Were you asking this is my turn, Mike? Is that
Yeah,
okay?
I'm sending you the narrative baton. It made the most sense.
Yeah. So Fritz sort of pulls on this lever that's attached to his backpack, like the device that he's wearing, and deploys the pinions from his armor set to brace himself, and his thunder cannon swivels around off the backpack into firing position.
Do we get
Because
the
of
anime
course.
freeze frames? I like
Obviously,
freeze frames.
and the letterboxing.
Jesus.
I'm just try. Imagine he's like a mini Warhammer 40k Space Marine. That's all I'm going with now.
This is like
Um,
the most mechanical Maho Shouju transformation ever.
Yeah. And like, I gotta come up with a theme song for you now. So it's like,
Yep.
it's like wheels the things around. So,
Let's see how
It's
bad this goes here.
Make it chiptune.
suggestion.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say suggestion for the music. Check out Bravely Default, and that person's name is. It's a banging tune.
Yes, it is.
Sorry to derail us again.
No, just leave that playing in the background because now I feel more badass. That
Mhm.
Fritz probably really is. So yeah, I'm gonna shoot. I'm gonna shoot the far one because I don't even want to entertain firing into a melee combat yet. So let's see. Do I just do this? Does it roll?
Mhm.
God, or
So
wait,
the
what is this?
9. The
Roll left,
18 is
yeah.
if you had advantage.
Oh, and I'm guessing I don't.
unless you got a reason to have an advantage.
I don't think so. I don't know. But I have to
Surprise.
turn that off somehow.
Is the badass music still playing?
Yeah.
That seems like
Yeah.
an advantage.
I mean, you can. Do you have like there's like a, I don't know how D&D works. Is there like a background or something that you can tag for like a plot point that says no?
So if you work into it, like if we do something particularly awesome with our role playing, then you get to give us inspiration, which we can use for advantage on a roll. So you get to give us the narrative currency, because why make a mechanic that does it automatically? Sorry.
Well, I mean, Fritz, is there something like, I mean, you want to lean into this narratively?
I mean, I would love to, with the feeling the pressure of his first command, deploying his little weapon platform for the first time. I mean, he's certainly feeling pressure. I don't know how much what you want me to do here to lean harder.
Like, tell me what Fritz is feeling. Like, is he panicking? Because this is not the first time that you've led these people into battle, right? The first time was when you found that ruined village and Senrathi burned the wings off an angel, right? Is everything going sideways again? Or like what's going through Fritz's mind?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically this can't happen again. This is his badge, his head. If he loses another, or if you know that as soon as they put him in charge officially and he loses his team, he's going to be drummed out in his dreams of any kind of future in the I don't even know what we want to call the gunsmithing trade. They would just call it his artificing.
They'll have your badge.
Yeah,
And his gun.
Yes, right. So what do you does Fritz have like a battle cry? Is there a thing that he says like are you just like Vashla, get down?
No, I think that'd be way too charismatic. I think he's just screaming.
And I just know.
Because
Hit the floor.
Okay.
because I have mouse guard on the mind. I'm like mentally picturing you yelling Eulalia now.
Oops, oh, that's what that does. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and use that as an example of how to roleplay, I guess, for your if you want to use that for that thing.
Oh yeah, I would like for that to happen because
Okay. So what does this Thunder Cannon +4 thing happen to?
I think it deals 8 piercing damage.
yeah,
we
8
go.
piercing damage.
How do I know that? Oh, because you just rolled 8. Okay.
Yeah. So apparently, if I click on the thunder cannon, it makes it roll the damage, which I didn't know. There's auto.
You have to be fucking kidding me.
What's that?
No, just these things are way more powerful than I ever thought them to be.
Uh-oh.
The Giblins?
Oh, they're over 9,000. We'll be fine. It'll be fine.
we'll
They're
be fine.
1/1 creatures.
Yeah.
They'll just take one of us when they die, is all. So
There's a 1/1 for 1.
-1/-1 when they drop. So it's been nice knowing you, Vash. I guess.
All right, so I should be able to do this. All right. and
Is
I
this
can't-
the ogre all over again? From 13th
No.
Age?
I mean,
When
they're kind of the same
crit it and
right?
it killed me?
No, totally not going to be the same thing. It's
Twice that
exactly the
happened.
same thing. Okay.
We retconned the first one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Fritz. So you clip the thing. So you shoot with a thunder cannon. Like, describe me what happens when you light this thing up.
So I think, first of all, Fritz's current claim to forwarding the art of gunsmithing is that I don't know if he's invented, but he's perhaps discovered the secret of smokeless gunpowder. So most of the muskets and things of this era, I'm guessing, probably still use black powder if they're barrel or breech loading.
Yes.
So
Like, unless it comes from the blessed, the House of Ash themselves, it's pretty rudimentary.
yeah, so I think there is a large gout of fire and light that comes out of the barrel, but it is smokeless. He has figured out how to make his black powder with that. He doesn't have the whole cartridge thing yet, I don't think, because that probably is a little bit too close to the Holy Order, or whatever that's controlling munitions. But it is also still a process to reload this thing, considering how it's mounted on a gimbal.
Strapped to your waist, I'm imagining.
Yeah, and it does kick pretty hard into the pinions that he has deployed. If he were to fire without that, he probably would be bowled back. So it's hits like a mule. And I imagine there's probably some sort of hiss of steam, like some sort of not hydraulics, but something that he's worked up to start absorbing shock.
Oh, you have like a pneumatic recoil compensator?
Yeah. Something, yeah. It's not elegant.
Okay. Yeah. So that's you took a shot at this thing, and it's the same sort of thing that happens when Vashla hits it with a warhammer. It's definitely damaging. Like there's like this, but it's not. When you shoot living things, and this is probably something that you guys are familiar with, there are gouts of blood or tissue or bone and things like that. And usually, depending on how bad the infection is, you don't get like blood. It's dust, or if it's spores, it's like this red powder that kind of explodes out of these things. And that's what you get. This has been whatever you guys thought you were cleaning up. It's way, way worse.
Definitely
Usually these
phosphorus
things-
rounds.
Usually these things there are like a couple small creatures, and they're easily slain because they've just been a little bit corrupted. These things are well and truly infested, which may speak to something even worse lurking within. Yorha.
That's great.
Yes. All right. Yorha will come out of the darkness, apparently. Battle cry. And will stab the wounded goblin. Very seemingly unsafe manner, with the blade of the glaive passing very, very near Vashla.
I thought the shot one was the not Vashla one.
Right. The one in the
Okay.
back was what I shot.
Okay, then I'll stab that one instead. Figure out how on this sheet. How does happen?
I think you just click the thing under attacks. Like if you click under name.
Oh, it's all the way down here. It's this one. It's this one.
There you go.
It is that one. Hey, it's a roll. It's higher than a 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's exactly a 10.
That's it.
The result is higher than a 10.
There you go.
That's real good. Results higher than a 10 are good.
And
Oh man,
is
I'm
that
so
13
happy.
damage? Yeah, you maxed.
Yeah, well,
You rolled the same on your damage die as your to hit die. Good call.
So, tell me what it looks like, as you cut this spore-infested goblin to pieces.
I sort of stab in low and then bring the glaive way up over my head and slam it down on the ground. Slam it down through the body of the thing, sort of Bushido blade style, and cut it from the collarbone through the hip, and it falls and like spores rustle out of it, and it doesn't really make an expression or any sort of noise, and it falls, and then I'm like, fools, move back! I've told you about this.
And it pops when you say that, encasing you in a brief cloud of spores. Give me a save.
Is there anything I can do about disease?
Yes.
Okay. Other than burning it out of my friends.
No.
Okay.
There's a 17
No.
con save
Yes, of
for
course
you.
there is. Yeah. So, either you tell me how you want to handle like the Constitution saving throw there. Do you want to you can just say that you're hardier than this shit is, or you can say that you don't breathe in or whatever. It's like stage 1 rot spores.
Okay. I think your house specifically has been Grey Wardened against some of this stuff from back in the day. Specifically kind of resistant.
They made you drink from a cup that had rot spores
Yeah.
and actual darkspawn blood and
Hardcore.
I was gonna say
back
you
in
just
the day.
bust out a hand fan and wave the spores away from you.
Yeah.
Suddenly it's L5R as well.
yeah. And your has a crane.
Yeah, that sounds cranny.
That happened now.
Yorha, you do see out of the corner of your eye that there are more of these things lurking in the village.
Great. I will. So if I kill something on my turn, I get a bonus action attack. Can I stab? Are any of them within stabbing range, or should I stab the one standing in front of Ashla?
So imagine that this is the Final Fantasy fight with the creatures in front of you, and everybody is together. That's the goal for this sort of setup right now. We don't have everything on the grid yet.
I walk forward 5 feet and swing my weapon in the air. It deals 10 damage.
Right.
Then I will sort of move to intercept one of the new threats to us and stab that one with my bonus action.
Okay.
So that
So it looks like a
hits.
21 to hit with a 5 damage.
Just barely.
Yeah, so you walk up to this one and you do your little glaive twirly thing, and you take a chunk out of its face, and this one staggers back a little bit and puts a ruined paw up to its face, and you can see that its eye isn't entirely milky. It's got some spark of life kind of left into it. It bleeds a little bit as it holds its palm against its face, and it looks at you in horror.
Good.
Sinarathi.
Yeah. Did these things get
Fire.
around? Do these things get around? I'm just asking.
I kind of intersperse them in as things happen.
Okay.
The side effect of missing is bad stuff happens right now.
Okay, that's very PBTA. I like it.
And that's why you all got hurt real bad.
Yeah. I think I'm going to cast a different cantrip this time. I think I'm going to use Toll the Dead, which is a necromancy cantrip. If the target has been hit by damage, it's the left side. Or if it is uninjured, it's the left side. And if they have taken any damage, it's the right side for damage. And it's the one that your head just bonked. DC 13 wisdom save. How wise are these zombie goblins? Diggity!
So they're not wise, but I roll like a fucker.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, for some reason my magic isn't touching these, much to my consternation, and I'm probably swearing in Tiefling, which I think is Abyssal.
Really?
Yeah,
Tell me more about that.
I'm swearing in Infernal. Yeah,
Infernal or Abyssal?
Infernal. I just checked on the character sheet. I speak Common and Infernal.
So, it's a dead moon, right? The moon outside is bright. It should be like the right exact sort of situation. It's a warm night. There's like a breeze rustling through everything, and it's like 72 degrees and balmy. I guess it's like
Very romantic.
it's great. But like something's been bugging. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I can offer you just a horrible thing to whack me with here in character. Every spell I've cast and failed to connect with so far has been from my divine casting. Fuck, I can't use my class feature on these because I didn't roll the d20.
Nope.
I have a class feature that if I miss, I can roll 2d8 and add that to the result.
Ooh.
Yeah. But I can't use that here because they're... But yeah, so
Use an actual attack spell.
Yeah. So all of my divine magic is failing me at this point.
And there's like noise here.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't notice it until this point in time, but where usually you have like what does the connection to your god feel like?
I don't know if it's a connection to the god, but so much as just like I was like, one day I really need to heal someone, and I probably healed angry, and it worked, which is really weird. Like normally you never want to heal angry.
No. So bad.
But yeah, like it was a thing that like bubbled up within me. It's like, maybe I can do this, and then I tried, and it actually worked for like seemingly no reason. It is a mystery to everyone, especially me.
So what you got instead right now is doubt, I guess, is the opposite of what you're feeling.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, like it is definitely like, has it left me? Like just as quickly as it came, did it go?
And there's a buzzing in your ears, in addition to all that else.
That's good. Probably right.
And these things start to close in.
That's unfortunate, but
Vashla,
Yeah.
so this thing doesn't wander towards Senarathi. They were on their head towards Vashla and Yorha here in the center.
They're not going towards Sinrathi.
No, they don't.
they know where the threats are.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go for the one that's definitely going for Yorha because he talks big game, but from what I could tell, he is kind of squishy, having constantly died.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, you throw yourself in enough rot dragons, and eventually it's a numbers game. Really.
Silver Dragon.
It's a conversion play, really.
Yeah. I was kind of picturing if there's like one right in front of him, I want to hook it with like the back of my warhammer, drag it closer to the ground, say, like eyes down here, and then hit it.
My eyes are down here, mister.
Yeah.
Do it.
I don't have my shield, and my weapon is versatile, so I'm gonna switch that really quick.
Smash.
Think that gets you up to a D10 damage?
Correct.
For damage, yeah.
Well, you hit.
Oh,
Yeah.
Is it? Oh, it should be plus your strength.
Probably.
So that's 4.
Oh, I guess I didn't add that. I added it to the regular one, but I didn't add it at strength. Yeah,
Okay.
so it's 4.
So yeah, you pull the thing down, you whack it, and you try to grab its attention away from Yorha.
Yes.
And there's this is the one that seems a little more cognizant, a little bit more aware, a little bit less gone.
Okay.
And its response is kind of like the cower in the corner, and it kind of like breathes in deeply, and those spores like start to leak out of the giant pustule sac on its back, but don't fly out everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yorha?
Me again? Okay. I will. Though I'm not going to mess with the one that Vashla's clearly got under control over there. That seems fine. So I'm going to rush one of the standing, more zombified goblins and stab it.
So are they gobbies or zomblins?
Way.
Gombies.
I have them listed as rot goblins, but whatever.
Well, then they're rotblins.
Gomblies.
Does a 12 hit the shambling zoblins?
No.
Wow.
Well,
Damn.
why am I the bodyguard?
Because you hit stuff roughly as often as Yorha.
I
true.
need a token for Yorha. Why can't I find a token for Yorha?
I was gonna ask. I think I might be done trying to affect these directly. So I think my next action is going to be giving people guidance.
I would love that very much. Thank you. All right. Well, if that just happened and I just missed the goblins and I'm sort of standing in the middle of them, I would like to spend a bonus action to rage.
Okay.
And then I assume I think with Yorha, it's less of like a slobbering, ultra violent rage and more of sort of a beatific sort of thing. And yeah, I do a quick weapon flourish and stand in front of the remaining standing goblins. Like, bring it.
How far are you into Automata?
Done.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Did you know that if you held the light attack as the last character you get, you do the little, like, flourish and taunt?
Yeah,
That's what I'm picturing your rage as.
Jeez,
that works. That totally works. That totally works.
that's a great image. Ugh.
Also a game with a banging soundtrack.
Roll it.
I think rage just happens.
Or you just have to do like
Yeah,
do you
rage
hurt
is
these
the
things
thing.
at all, or
No, rage is just basically I get slightly tougher and do slightly more damage.
oh, you're just angry.
Yeah, like I don't want to be standing here with no armor on while there's rot goblins going to eat my face.
Gotcha.
So I decided to make my face slightly harder to eat. That was what that was.
Fritz. So you. I'm not sure why you think of it at this point in time, but I want to ask this question because I keep asking these. Before this, you guys went off on this journey. You were given what's called a Gaius compass or a Gaius compass. I don't know. It's an Irish word.
Oh.
How do you spell it? Geas?
Yeah,
I think it's geese.
geese.
It's not what you think it's going to be.
Gesh.
Yeah, Gesh.
Gesh. You're given a Gesh compass, and these are things commonly handed out amongst the Ash Wardens. If there is a, if you bring it close enough to a portal, or you put a piece of rod in there, it will always steer you in the direction of that portal until it's destroyed. You've never needed to use it because one of your party always seems to be able to find exactly what they're looking for here. Not
Okay.
like random things, but they always seem to know exactly how to find the rot or the portal that's nearby. Who is it, and why did that just suddenly pop into your head?
And does their hand glow green?
I mean, it would seem like the logical choice would be Senrathi. If
I think there's, I mean, not to take the wind out of your sails, I think there's a solid case for
Any of us.
basically all three of us that are currently here. Yeah, and yeah, maybe it might also be the
Burb.
Bird Ranger, whose names I can't remember. Like Rot
Cave.
Touched, Saya, Ancient Holy Warrior, got wrecked up by the rot the last time and probably knows some shit. So it's all over. It's all over the place.
Does it have to be someone else? Like, what if that's the reason that
Yeah.
Fritz comes with us?
Fritz has a built-in rot sense.
Yes.
That's where your knowledge came from.
Jeez.
Your ability to make gunpowder is like the songs in BioShock Infinite. It just comes through riffs at you.
Ate a rotten apple.
Oh my god.
Just
What do you think, Adam?
No, there's there's, as Zach was saying, there's a lot of interesting choices here. No, I imagine it's not Fritz. That could be interesting, but not. I don't think that's right.
Okay.
And Vashla doesn't seem right either,
No.
just to me. Yeah, now you say it, I think Senrathi has their own thing going on, so we will. And we haven't done. I don't know if we've really done missions in the past with the Burb yet, so we will go with Yorha. Yorha usually has a knack, whether it's from their previous experience or just some sort of they've been touched with death way too many times, that they have this feeling towards the rot. And the reason why it popped into my head is because the last round he was yelling out, reminders of what he tried to teach us about these things before we got into this mess. And the fact that closing a portal does seem to, I don't know, maybe lessen some of the ability of focus, or like the concentration that these monsters have.
Gotcha.
They draw on that they're basically zombies, so it helps provide direction, focus.
All right. What's your action then?
I think we do need to thin the ranks here. Otherwise, we're going to get overwhelmed. So we have one that's Vashla's sort of beating down right now, which is one of the smaller ones that's been hit a couple times. And one big bad and one not so big bad that haven't been touched. Is that...
Yeah, it also seems like mine is the more normal, less zombified one.
Right. I'm going to see if I can pick off one of the ones that's close to Yorha, but not the one that he was trying to engage.
Okay.
I mean, I am attacking with a reach weapon, so I'm probably a fair ways away from it. If what you're looking for is an open shot.
Well, the point is that I want to make a break for you to try to find the portal in the area, since...
Can I try to apply guidance to this?
Sure.
So that's I cast guidance, which is a cantrip, and it gives you a D4 to your D20 attack roll.
Okay. There's no way to add the D4 before clicking, right?
I don't think so.
Okay. Is that dice pane? There it is. Okay, so here's the D4, so that adds 3.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a 16. Oh,
Nice.
jeez. The garbage damage roll.
Oh, wow. I also like how your damage roll is the PBTA roll, so you learn something. Mark 1 experience.
So yeah, your thunder cannon goes off again, and with a roar, and it plugs into these things. It's not as effective as you intended it to be. Like, it's not like these things are taking quite the beating from that you guys are dishing out, and they're not falling like the rot touched creatures you found in the past.
And then, while I'm reloading this beast, I'm gonna yell out to Yorha, "Where's the portal?"
Get to the portal.
I have to find the portal.
That I will be looking or trying to find it on my turn while stabbing dudes. Or if I have any sort of sense as to where it is now, I would point that out.
So you were attacked by these things as you were making your way to the ruined cathedral.
That seems like a dramatically appropriate place for there to be a rot portal.
Or church. I think cathedral's probably too big of a term. It's just an old church.
Symbolism.
It had aspirations of cathedral court, though.
Does Yorha exclaim, "Take me to church"?
Oh. Church is another character entirely.
Yeah.
Scrufflebutt appears out of nowhere.
We get to the church and it's actually like the second episode of Monster of the Week, and
Yeah.
we're watching Gary and Church go back through the portal.
It's like it's all connected.
Church kills Cape, and then we get Church's chicken.
There you go.
Oh, good lord! I'm much. I'm glad that was said out loud as opposed to in chat.
Mm-hmm.
You have disadvantage in your next roll.
I mean, it's not like it's going to change the outcome at all.
Also, worth it.
Yeah.
So, let's go to Sinrathi for now.
Okay.
And then we're gonna mix things up in a second. So, what's your play here? Like, things are fuzzy. Something's wrong. There's like interference. It's like you're trying to talk on the phone, and there's a ground line somewhere. You just hear this.
Can I spend my action digging into that? Yeah. I want to see if I can figure out what ports God is operating on, which are listening, and which ones I can tap into.
Yeah, that actually fits the setting rather well.
Okay. So I will poke my religion button and hope it doesn't suck. Can I give myself guidance on this?
Can you give yourself guidance?
I think so.
It's just an D20 roll, right?
Yeah. Actually, if I fuck this up, I can give myself 2 extra D4s, so I can roll. If I roll really badly, I can roll 3D4 plus D20.
Interesting.
Guidance 5e. You touch one willing creature. I can touch myself.
When I think about me, I touch myself.
The target can
About
then...
religion, I touch myself?
Yeah. So I'll roll the D4 ahead of time like Adam did. I got a 2. Strictly medium. My religion is a 14, so 16 total.
16 total. Okay.
And I... I want to? Oh, it's a failed saving or attack roll. It's not any D20, so I can't. So yeah, 16.
I mean, 16 is good enough.
Okay.
Right? That's a medium DC for a typical difficulty class,
Mhm.
I believe. So the answer is that there is something here that has an open communication.
Oh, good.
The lines are already. All lines are busy. Please try again later.
Mm-hmm. If there's a Cthulhu statue in this church, and I can't turn into a Terry Crews mass of flies,
Trick. Mike only runs one game.
no, I know we've stated that.
True.
Yeah. Export. Okay, so that should properly be having a.
How scary is that something is like jamming this and also like probably doing something spooky to these goblins?
All right, let's see if this comes up brighter. There we go. That's way better.
The spider?
Yes. So there is a creature, Vashla, that kind of crawls its way out of the ruins of the ceiling of the ruin that you're next to, and the closest thing you can describe it as it looks sort of like if you cut off someone's head and you gave it too many eyes, and then you turn it upside down and you gave it spider legs and a scorpion tail.
Gross.
I didn't realize we were playing Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, but apparently we've wandered into a Tazmishi nest.
Right. I mean, that's everything that would fit nicely in Dresden Files too. And it leaps onto the goblin in front of you that was kind of like running away and kind of cowering, and it stings it with the barbed stinger on the back of its tail, and it kind of makes a whispering. It says something to you.
I was just going to say, sucks to be that guy.
You've never run into a rot touch thing that talks.
Except the bird.
No, okay.
Hang on.
Yes.
I have to find...
Is this stage 2 of the disease?
I mean, you'll have to figure that out, right?
Good. Vashla, how do you like eating fire?
Okay,
How are
so
you at not burning to death?
I'm not really...
George.
So, spell save DC 11 plus 3 to hit with spell attacks.
So
Saving
spell
throw
attacks
rolling
don't...
dice.
Yeah.
So, do you need to roll a saving throw to resist this spell?
Yeah, at 11.
Okay, so you've got... I need a DC 11 will check.
Wisdom? Because there
This
isn't...
3-5 SRD, not the 5 SRD.
Dun-dun.
Oh god, is this a... What is it, Intelligence Eater or whatever they are?
I have it
Devourer?
Yeah.
in terms of being like a protection fighter. Is that something I would have to do on my own turn, or like to, I guess in like Dungeon World terms, defend?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Oh, I was wondering what I had to do in order to defend someone else or take a hit for someone else. Like,
This thing is attacking you.
oh, okay.
Table the question.
Well, no, I would still like to know the
Are you asking specifically with regards to your protection ability? Like your
Well,
protection style?
It says I can use my reaction to impose disadvantage on the attack roll.
I think you just say, like, yo, you've got a disadvantage now.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're...
The reactions happen once a turn,
On someone else's
or
turn?
once a round on someone else's turn.
Okay. But this is...
But it's attacking you.
But it's attacking.
Yeah. Yeah, because the protection only protects other targets.
No,
not
no, no, I
yourself.
get it. I was just wondering, because like earlier I probably would have liked to have used it. But, okay, so am I rolling something?
Yeah, I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh,
You probably
good.
don't suck at this.
Diggity. Got there.
So, the words that this creature is speaking to you responds... Something in you responds to it. And you feel your muscles twitch and try to react. And, like, for a moment there, you felt your body turning towards Yorha.
Yeah.
But you're able to wrest back control of whatever this thing had done. So,
Honestly-
Senarathi, there's your answer.
It's this fucking thing?
Yeah.
I yell, kill that fucking thing!
Language, your holiness. But no, I have no idea how I survived the rot and my battalion didn't, but this doesn't really make things better for me mentally. Walking away from that. So is it my turn now? Like proper? Or, okay.
Yeah, do a thing.
Yeah, I'm going to charge towards this spider thing with my warhammer.
Shut up.
Fuck.
We can roll well on damage, or we can roll well on the d20.
That's a pretty good damage roll.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? I forgot to do that. I really wanted to do. What's the thing in 13th Age where you get that die, the escalation die?
Escalation die, yeah.
Yeah. It's like a D6, right?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
And it ticks upward.
There you go. It's gonna be a 3 right now because that's what I just rolled. Can I just change that to a different face?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's
Yeah.
really nice. Cool. I forgot how great Roll20 is. Thank you, Roll20, for being great. So I guess an 8 plus a 3 is an 11, right?
Yep.
I mean, that's much closer. But like, it's hard to recover from a 4 on a die. So yeah,
What
you
did I need to hit exactly?
That
need to hit exactly.
that
Like-
can be hidden information.
Yeah, he doesn't have to tell. He doesn't have to tell us. He can.
Yes.
Okay.
And we can kind of infer from rolls we've made so far. But that's about it.
Yeah, but if you're not counting dice, right? Like, generally speaking, a 10 or 11 hits it
Okay.
On the d20 or on the...
on the D20.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it's probably going to be hit by a D10 or by a 10 or 11.
Yeah.
So the thing like tears itself off of the goblin, which
Okay.
collapses to the ground,
Uh-huh.
and skitters up the ceiling, skitters up the wall. Oops, wrong one. As you swing at it. So the thing, and it looks like it's torn something out of the goblin as it skitters away.
Okay.
I have a very stupid idea.
Yes.
Oh, cool. That's a cantrip. I point at it,
Uh-huh.
and cast the cantrip message, and I tell it it will die screaming in agony.
What does message do?
Message is you point your finger towards a creature within range and whisper a message. The target and only the target hears the message and can reply in a whisper that only I can hear.
You should definitely make mental contact with the intellect.
Right?
What language are you using?
Probably infernal.
Yeah.
Shit, I'll do this bilingual. I'll do this Canada style. I'll send the first half of the message in common and then the second half in infernal. I will do that. I do that just to make sure it hears and it knows.
All right, let's see.
If you want me to roll intimidation, that's my best skill.
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. Button. That's a crit.
Wow.
Okay, that's not going to do what I want it to do. Okay, so it waits for a minute, and then Vasha, you can hear it speaking again, like, yeah, Kashra Ipadwak, Ikabakhish, and it responds back with, you know, be gone from here, leave my lair.
Is this where I get to shoot it?
Yeah, I'm just like out loud. I'm just gonna probably say something like, "I think not."
Well, I think at least in Routh you can hear it.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said I could hear something.
Take the shot.
It says that
Like, you can hear it mumbling in abyssal or whatever.
Yeah.
right. You hear the abyssal language.
Take
so
the
now
shot.
That's what it said. Yorha, I think you're up.
I think I've gone since Fritz has gone.
I don't know. I think I shot at something.
I'm like moving a token left to right, and I think.
Well, if it's
Vasha
my
does
turn,
so.
can I see it?
I mean, you can get to
Sure.
it. It's
Yeah.
it's tucked up. It's doing the spider thing, right? It's up in the corner of the room, so like you can rush into the room and like jump and stab it.
That sounds awesome. Let's do that. I will shout some sort of like really old battle cry in a language none of us speak.
Not even you.
You, the goblins shambling next to me. I imagine I like dodge out of just like as it bites at me, and then I'm like gone. And I will glaive it to death. To death.
Yep. That's a pretty good hit.
Mm-hmm.
Add 2 to the damage, so it's gonna be a 13 damage.
13. Have we given this thing damage yet? I have not given this thing damage yet.
I want to know what it took from that goblin. I don't want to know, like, bad enough not to burn down that entire house, but...
Okay. Yeah, so you poke it pretty hard. So describe what it looks like when you're fighting this thing with, like, these 6 bony legs and this weirdly multi-jointed tail with a barbed hook at the end. It's like flailing at you in a very, like, it's got to keep 4 or 5 legs on the ceiling at all times to stay up there, but it's kind of like trying to bat you away and fight you. And you have delivered it a mortal wound. It's not dead yet, but like,
Okay.
so like, what does that look like?
Are we talking like size of a Saint Bernard or size of a centaur? Like how big is the spider?
That's a weird scale.
Oh, I mean, I'm trying to think of like, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
the head is human-ish. It's like
Okay.
a large-sized human's head. So
Okay.
and everything. So I guess like technically it's a small creature, but it's like its legs are probably like 6
Okay.
feet long.
Reach weapons.
Yeah, it's all real gross. Like,
Right. So what I do is it's up in the church, like up in the corner of a church.
yeah, it was up in the corner of this ruined building here. It's near the church, but you guys haven't gotten there yet. You're just
All right, cool.
like
So
church is over this way.
Sort of at a jog, I very like practice the very practiced motion. I sort of jam the lance in between a couple of its legs, and then I reach up. I sort of jump into the air, and then I tear a couple of legs off like I'm eating a crab, right?
Oh,
And
this thing smells awful.
oh, I'm sure it does, but I don't care at this point.
Okay. There are no spores in it whatsoever. As you tear it apart, it's like a black ichor that spews out of it.
Great. And then like after I've successfully taken off a couple of, I've partially dismembered it, I will sort of drop. I tear the legs I was holding myself up with off, fall to the ground, and then chanting weird words at it while I wait for it to try to kill me.
All right, I need you to roll me some sort of knowledge check that represents remembering things that you've forgotten from past lives.
History?
While Fritz goes.
Religion?
Okay, so-
You pick and you roll, and then you justify it.
Killing things like this is my religion, so
But Fritz goes first.
Okay, so do I still have the guidance bonus? Center out there, is that like a?
I mean,
one-time thing?
I figure we're close to each other. It's a one-time thing, so this will be up to Mike to be like, can I have tapped you on the shoulder and be like, yo, God says do it good.
Yeah, I mean, yes, you all occupy the same space and time for this encounter, so I didn't want to make it too gross.
was that before or after you decided the brain-eating spider was going to show up?
Mechanically gross. I wanted to make the mechanics easier for the first.
Nice. Useful.
It's a 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's definitely you definitely have that.
Okay, so yeah.
The answer to your question is 15, Jordan.
Great.
6 damage to spider thing.
Okay, so you rushed in and do what?
I don't think I rush. I think I just take careful aim not to hit Yorha while he's jumping around on the walls or whatever he's doing. And
Like as I'm
put a-
parkouring at the crab, you're probably
Yeah.
taking aim, and then as I fall out of frame, you shoot it, right?
bullet right in between all the eyes.
Well, it's like going to bite at you, and then like the crack of the gun.
Yeah.
And as you shoot it, it's got that high pitched sound of like when you boil a crab or a lobster, and it's got that high pitched piping sound, and it deflates slightly as it happens, and like there's a spray of ichor, and all of the ground around you trembles, like a low grade earthquake, and it's just sitting there vibrating.
This is for church members not to kill the things because it sets off some sort of chain reaction.
Did the earth move for you too?
On my religion check, do I know what's happening?
No. No. You have no. So you don't know why this is happening. But you do know that this thing came from the portal and is not a rot-touched creature.
That's curious.
Yes, it is.
So
I seem to also notice that everything has red X's on it now. Is that
Yeah.
do things are collapsing around us?
Yeah, they died.
Goblins?
Load-bearing
so-
boss. So
I set to burning the corpses and more rot.
Right. So the two, so the goblins that were gone, that were totally rotted through, as this thing dies, they collapse. They aren't dead. They just aren't mobile anymore.
were they?
Okay.
They still are
alive
on the
before?
ground, like wheezing into the dirt.
Yeah, I'm
Whatever.
gonna just like Roomba the create bonfire through them.
Like all rot touch things, they explode in flame like instantly. Sinrathi, you've seen some worse things from the rot before.
Okay.
You have seen the rot cause all flesh to be stripped from a creature, and still this malignant tumor causes the bones to be animated. But you've never
Not in a living thing.
what's that?
Not in like something living and still possessing some of its own intelligence.
Yeah, it usually doesn't progress. Like no, this is part of the rot life cycle, right?
Okay.
Something gets infected. It doesn't really display a whole lot of signs at first. Eventually, the rot starts to take over, and whatever the living thing was ceases to function as it used to, and then eventually, it's just the rot remains. But one of the things that you've never had to deal with before is there are no like skeletons or zombies otherwise in this world.
Okay. I have two points of concern.
Mhm.
One, do I have any idea that Vashla took a big old drag of rot spore?
Yes.
Like just hotboxed, like got into like a nice little room, hotboxed up some rot. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And two, it looked like it ripped something out of the goblin. Is there any trace of what that thing was?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna deal with the. I am my bodyguard's keeper after all, so I'm gonna take a look. Say and like cast a tiny little like light cantrip to like.
Something to focus on.
Yeah.
I'm actually not bad at medicine and probably have treated things like this in the past.
Is the ground still shaking?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna
We'll deal with that
Grab-
first then.
I'm gonna start urging people that we need to get to this church and close this portal before something worse happens.
I do think that one of them, I don't know who's more likely, but probably one of them started to suggest it anyway. Like, I start coughing.
I'd look at her and then like make a mental note and look meaningfully at our companions in that we may have to kill her later, sort of way.
Holy
And
shit!
It's a zombie apocalypse, and you just got bitten.
Like, the rules are the rules are the rules. If you were to join my order, we can just bring you back. It's fine. But you have to do the thing, right?
If you cut off a rot-touched arm, does that come back as rot-touched?
You can find before she's fully taken. We can find some clean toe or something, right? And then I jog over to the church and try to go in.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. So
Take her tonsils.
the door to the church is rotten and askew, and like the inside, all the pews are smashed, and whatever religious iconography was here originally, you don't know what the Southern gods are, but they're gone. There's nothing here. The altar is smashed. The tabernacle has been destroyed. Whatever
Tabernacle.
Yeah. But there is like the central row, column, I guess, that leads to the back of the church has collapsed inwards and downwards, and that's where that red-orange glow is coming from. So it's somewhere just below the surface of the church. There's something lurking.
The hole
One more time, Zach.
into the glowing hole.
Yeah.
Once more.
Yeah.
So inside this hole, there is this collapsed like cellar underneath the church, and who knows what they had in the past here? Maybe foodstuffs, maybe booze, maybe something a lot more sinister. But what there is now is a rotting hole from our world to something else. It is a breach, a portal. It is a thing that looks like it's not so nice as Swiss cheese. If you think of it as you know how you've got necrosis when things are bitten by like those really nasty spiders?
Yep.
That's the sort of hole in your world that this looks like. Something has bitten here, and it rots from around.
Is the thing that bit still here?
You don't see anything other than that nice thick blanket of like spores and fungus and like decayed matter that sort of stretches out from the portal. It's like licking up from all around, like all the ceiling. Like you've got to go into this stuff just to get to the portal, and like it's beginning to like seep its way through the floorboards of the church and up the path that you're coming down. This portal has been here for not like a capital L long time, but for long enough that it makes you nervous.
I just want to say that someone in chat just said, "Congratulations, you've started playing Diablo 1."
Yeah.
True.
So everything that I have is drawn from an image from somewhere, and yes, this is the town of Tristram, but in Spain, so it's Baza.
So you wanted to start burning things, Sinrathi?
Oh, I probably haven't stopped.
Yeah.
Campfires just
We
moving
need
around in
some
front of
fire
you.
here now.
Like my mouse guard instinct would be, where there is rot, burn it.
Yeah. And flame takes rot. It is you don't know if it's the most flammable substance you've ever seen, but like rot spores catch fire like tang.
Yeah, or like
and-
flour.
Yeah, like they're super fine mist, and whatever, maybe it's magical, maybe it's divine, maybe it's just natural, but whatever this stuff is just gets poofed like immediately. And what it leaves is this really fine white powder. And everywhere you burn the ash, that's what you're left with, is this, or burn the rot, is you're left with this fine white ash. And the church begins to go up because you can't have fire and floorboards and nothing else. And as you walk forward,
How do we traditionally seal portals? Because I don't think this is our first portal sealy rodeo.
Yeah.
well, back in the day, Yorha, you remember that portals used to be sealed with blood.
I take out my checks character sheet.
Do you have like a ceremonial like bloodletting knife?
Well, I didn't even think about. I mean, this was not in my thing, but like I have a simple weapon, and I chose a sickle because it seemed appropriate. Because I'm like a herbalist. But yeah, I take out my sickle and I like do the forearm, like the
Wait.
round the forearm thing.
Could you bathe my bullets in blood and I could shoot the portal?
Yorha, in the future, you just throw grenades at it. Not Yorha, Fritz. The modern way of doing it is you just roll a bomb towards the portal.
It's too late
So-
though, because like Yorha's already like extending his forearm towards the portal.
Right, like that. I wanted to make sure that we got the Yorha way of doing it before.
Okay,
Fritz
I
was
see.
like, what the shit are you doing?
Jesus Christ, you're bleeding everywhere.
Yeah. No. So
It's okay. I'm resistant to slashing damage.
you try to cut your wrist, it just fails.
Yeah.
God damn, I forgot.
Goddamn D4 sickle.
But yeah, you can totally bleed on his bullets if you want to shoot them.
That's
No,
why my
I
arms all
like-
bandaged up all the time.
Yep.
I like having this like one of those bandolier grenades that has like all the pins connected. You just pull the one ripcord and toss the bandolier into.
Yeah, after you've burned all the rot, you either need blood or something sufficiently boomy to blow it up.
Okay.
In the past, they didn't ever have something sufficiently boomy. Now they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in the past, they probably had like pillars of divine fire.
So we did not
Which
have
is
to resort to
exactly
such.
what you're doing now.
Well, no, like I mean, flame strike pillars of divine fire, like things that do half fire, half holy damage. I also imagine the past is like actually 3.5.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm coming from. Like the past, in my head, the past was like earlier editions.
Yeah.
And so the things that we can't do anymore.
Vashla's grandma was a 4E fighter.
Oh god.
Oh,
Fast,
that was
fast,
awesome.
40 fighter.
She was awesome.
Yeah, so Sunrathi, you kind of vacuum up the stuff. The portal catches fire. Yorha, do you just walk in through the flames and bleed on it, or just first shoot it with
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. I mean, Fitz can do whatever Fitz is going to do, but Yorha's in the middle of way because that clearly needs done.
Right. So like the end of the first not act, but like the first like scene since the beginning of the episode is Yorha walking through the flames, kind of wreathed in fire, to make sure that she gets blood on this portal before and it gets closed.
When Yorho walks through the fire, does it freeze you? I have to make every
I
Buffy
gotta-
reference. I have to.
It's yeah. It's inside me, but it's black. I can't remember the bridge word. Stuck. Yeah, so we're gonna fast forward to like morning. Like, so the church burns to the ground.
Okay.
The portal closes. You've succeeded in cleansing Baza of the rot. As far as you can tell, the infection has been purged.
Quick question.
Well-
Do I have to make several rolls?
You got to make all the rolls.
That's a really
but
good
first-
question.
No,
I look
I
intrigued,
mean
it's black, yeah.
for that thing you whispered me earlier.
Right. So before we do anything like that, and you're right, I should have dealt with that first. Is there anything that you want to say or do before you make the first one of those rolls?
I
Or
want to.
Ralphie wants to do a thing?
I want to definitely take a look at Vashla.
Yeah.
Vashla, are you exhibiting any strange behaviors?
I'm probably just coughing as I'm following along. Otherwise, I think not.
All right, Your Highness, lay down. Let's get a look at you.
Is it a cough I recognize? Like, do I recognize the signs?
It's hard to tell at first. A lot of people died because you thought, not you, but a lot of people get killed because maybe they have the rot, maybe it's a cold.
Maybe it's Maybelline. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to not argue and I just like sit down for the examination with Sunrathi.
Yeah, I definitely didn't take medicine. Good job, me. But I got animal handling.
Summon a squirrel to heal her.
She's on her way to being an animal, so it should be fine.
Yeah. I mean, this feels like religiosity, possibly. or maybe Arcana.
Alternatively, Yorha did offer medicine earlier.
Before you start witch doctoring me,
Yeah.
Before you start witch doctoring me, can we try some centuries-old medical treatment? First?
Yeah. Can we get the barbarian to perform a medical procedure?
That's gonna require more blood.
I don't know if I have enough leeches.
Centuries-old medical treatment from the person who specifically belongs to an order that dies over and over and over again.
Yes.
Great. Yeah, I mean, I imagine Yorha has already been. I've already been like collecting things as I find them that are rot
So the
appropriate.
important thing to remember for your religion is there are about 7 critical herbs and spices that you use to do your healing. And this is why I can't run horror campaigns, because everything spooky eventually becomes KFC. So yeah, so go ahead and roll me medicine if you want to medify her.
Hi.
Diggity.
Nice.
I really should get into the habit of being like, I give you guidance.
Yeah.
Because that's what it's there for.
Go ahead and lay down. Lay down. I gotta look this over. Off.
So, you have kind of an early warning system that you've developed from your many, many decades of doing this and dying, coming back alive. And basically, it's crushed up. I don't know. I'm not an herbalist, right? In real life, you pick some poison ivy and you boil it and you pour the liquid over her skin, and if it bubbles, like whatever, right?
Can I... Is, like, purified rot ash part of it? Like that white, fine ash it leaves behind?
Oh, that's way
maybe
better. I like
adds
that.
to it.
Right, like you make her drink rot ash, and if she throws it up, there's a problem.
Okay.
Oh, that's so good.
Do
Normal
I
reaction
get
to being
to
fed up.
Great minds create great things together.
drink some liquor with it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
standard, actually.
I probably do that.
Yeah, she boots.
Yeah. So she's sick. So she's rotten. So we've
I thought the medicine works.
that was to like diagnose you.
Yeah, that was to find out what you were doing.
We just went Dr. Gregory Yorha on you.
Great.
Yeah. So am I? Yeah. Do I have methods of treating, or is this like a long-term thing? Sorry.
So back in the olden times, you'd go to one of the empaths, and they would say they would invoke the spirit of excellence within. Like, are you were religious, right? Your order like worshipped gods.
Yes, I assume we did.
Yeah. So you went to a priest, and the priest was able to drive out the rot.
No pressure.
I'm tagging out. Like, okay, well, this is yeah. So in times past, the clergy,
Yeah.
would look like sort of meaningfully at Sinrathi.
And
Yeah,
I like
probably also look over.
I smile weakly. Fritz, we should probably get camp made. I'll see what I can do. I'm guessing this isn't a thing that Cure Wounds works on.
Nope.
Because that's the healiest magic I got.
I think that you may have something else in your toolkit that is effective here.
I have fire. I also had a very bad idea.
I gave you a hint earlier.
I mean, was it fire?
No.
Okay. So I have a terrible idea. Can I talk to the rot that's in Vashla with message?
You try?
I definitely try.
There isn't enough there for it to be sentient, as far
Okay.
as you can tell.
Okay. Well, I've told it to fuck off in 2 languages.
Okay.
And now I'm going through my chat log to be like, what did Mike tell me? I mean, I know fireworks.
I mean, can't you pray now? You have
Yeah.
communication channels around here.
Yeah.
Pray for that hint again.
Yeah. No, I'll lay on of hands, and I'll religious at it, and I'll guidance myself.
As for guidance
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll
from
me
unknown sources.
a religion check.
Okay. 21.
So, I don't remember if 5e does this, but I think it might have. I think it's 5e or something like it does this. What one of these games allows you to get a kind of like a hint at your next level ability?
Oh, that's 13th Age has partial advances.
Partial advantages.
Or incremental advance, that's the terminology.
Okay. So earlier I said there was no such thing as zombies or skeletons in this world.
Yep.
There are no undead.
Okay. And I'm not a cleric, though. I can't turn undead.
You can't turn undead?
No.
I thought you were a cleric.
No.
He's
I'm
a sorcerer.
I'm a sorcerer.
Sorcerer. We don't actually have a cleric.
No. I'm
No.
just...
No.
I am the dollar store cleric. I am a sorcerer
sitting
with
here-
divine soul.
We have a sorcerer that acts like a cleric and a barbarian who is sort of
A
in the
paladin.
story cleric, but we don't have an actual cleric.
Okay.
No. I don't have turn undead. And I don't get it.
Okay. On a successful religion check, that's going to be difficulty determined by how far the rod advances.
Okay.
You can expend a spell to turn undead.
Done.
You now have a new character ability.
Okay.
Because it's crucial to this.
What's...
But like, everyone with magical slots can do this.
Turn vaguely undead.
Well, it's
Turn rot?
right. But turn rod is not like. It's a weird phrase, right? Vashla and Yorha, neither of you have magical slots, right?
I do not.
Right. But bird person does, right?
Rangers do get magic, yes.
Okay.
I will.
So that-
I will at 3rd level as well.
So at
Oh,
third
yeah.
level, remind me that. Well, at any time somebody gets a magic, remind me that they have this ability.
So spend a spell slot, roll versus religion. Like, what's the DC?
It depends on the difficulty. How
Okay.
much rod is advanced, right? So, like, this is effectively incubation stage. And
If
today's episode is called incubation.
if I fail the roll, is the spell slot still expended?
No,
Okay.
no. So you make your check. On success, you can spend a spell slot to drive out rot.
Okay. Yeah. Then I burned the knowledge that I had of mage armor, I guess, for right now. Not the knowledge I had, but yeah.
This prepared spell, effectively.
Yeah.
Or like,
But I'm a sorcerer, so I just have slots.
right,
Yeah.
So one of your slots is expended for the day.
Yeah.
So Vashla, like not unlike what happened earlier when Yorha gave you a tea made of rot ash, and you had the very unpleasant experience of vomiting ash water up. You have a similar, very unpleasant experience of purging your body of an infection.
I imagine it's unpleasant for both of us.
Yeah.
Like the next 8 hours are not going to be fun,
No.
right?
Oh, geez,
Well,
that's...
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you.
Oh, I was gonna say the whole time I'm probably thinking of my dead husband
Yeah.
in my battalion.
Like your body temperature rises to like 140 degrees.
Gross.
Like you should be dead.
Yeah.
But
It's fine though, because dwarves usually burn at about 132, so it's not.
like whatever the magic that Sinrathi has cast over you keeps you alive as your body burns out the infection.
I am gripping your hand very tightly the entire time.
Yeah. No, I'm probably returning it and I don't know, doing something with Violet to someone
Like
here.
punching Sarathi.
I don't know. Maybe no, not Sinrathi, because Sinrathi is making me feel better. Maybe Yorha comes over and says something shitty and annoying about my grandma.
Yeah, I was gonna say Yorha's like, this never happened to your grandma. I mean, we never had to.
She was smart enough to hold her breath. Aren't you a dwarf?
She was apparently your grandmother was made of sterner stuff because you have to treat her.
Can I roll to kick him?
Yes.
Yeah, you absolutely can.
Remember, it's always yes and.
Okay.
Yes and. Yorha gets hurt. Fritz. I don't. You're kind of like the calm, analytic sort, except when you're shouting wildly as you shoot things.
Yes.
Do you let them burn the scorpion demon before you have a look at it?
I don't think I would.
Whoa.
Knowing
You
it's not
managed to-
rot?
Yeah, this is a creature from the other side of the portal, so we definitely need this for dissection. And
I want you to have that
Study.
conversation with Yorha because the standard procedure is destroy all artifacts and creatures that came through the portals.
Well, I mean, I'm spending
Bring it
8
with a
hours.
giant blade.
I'm spending 8 hours at Voshla's best bedside while she gets through the worst withdrawal ever.
Yeah.
I'll just pull rank on you, Yorha.
I'm not sure how that works, but we can try it.
It's like the old Star Wars book, con, right? Or whatever the thing is
Yeah.
you can't successfully con other characters. But you can con other players.
It's taken like a blade and a torch to literally everything, all the things.
So the scorpion demon doesn't burn like the rot stuff does.
Yorho, we need to know what that thing is. We
It
need,
was a creature of the rot.
but it isn't rot. Look at it, you fool.
We need to know how to counter what this thing can do. Perhaps there's something inside of it that can more readily protect us against its, I don't know, ability to control. You also saw how it was controlling these rot goblins.
It
Stabbing
spoke
was
to me
super
earlier,
effective.
right? The spider thing?
What was the question?
The spider thing spoke to me earlier, right?
Yeah.
The effect of the rot.
I would like to kind of feverishly repeat what it said to me earlier as best as I can.
Yorha, do you speak any language other than whatever the common is?
That out. I do speak a language. Let me see what I speak.
I mean, is it just old human?
It's got to be Draconian.
Or, yeah.
It was your wife.
Yeah, I think it is
Yeah.
Draconian. I think it's Draconian as my bonus language. Yeah, Common and Draconic are the two languages I speak.
Okay.
Comment on the streets, Draconian in the sheets.
Who's got the highest intelligence? Roll me an int check.
I do, probably.
Yeah, it's gonna be Fritz.
Certainly. Yeah.
Is it higher than a 14, Fritz?
Damn. Rolling is just
Negative?
shit today.
Because
No, I mean, is Fritz's intelligence higher than a 14?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could all roll, right? Like, I don't.
it's
It's not really a
this.
DC. I don't know. Sure, everybody roll.
Hey, competence!
Hey.
Nailed it.
In your house, then -1. So Vashla repeats to the best of her ability at the with the things that the Plafatagan, Esla,
Yeah.
football, yeah. Another unspeakable things, and you're able to pick up like a few bits of what was said, and like you've heard this before. It was the verbal component for charm person.
Oh,
So it can use magic?
it certainly tried to.
It casts spells. That's real good.
Um,
Really
But
good.
like if charm, the only Sinrathi, you know that because that's a spell that you can cast and you know how to do. Yorha, you know that because it's a thing that the clerics way back in the day, back before all the gods went away, used to be able to do.
that was
Nobody does that anymore.
That
That's
was-
not a thing that can happen.
that was God magic it tried. We need to keep this alive so we can figure... Well, not alive. We need to keep it
It's a little late for that.
reasonably intact so we can determine what it does and how it does it. It was interfering with my... And then, like, gesture up and, like, shrug sort of thing. Like...
And it is
it's
not
like
anymore. You
Standing
have a
over
free
the
and
body
clear-
of this thing,
Yeah.
right?
Correct.
With a torch in one hand and some sort of like confiscated piece of large wooden smashing in the other hand. He looks sort of from Fritz to Sinrathi and back, going over in his mind that he could probably take both of you right now, and then
I just...
fine.
Am I not the closest thing to one of your clerics of old? Did you
Sure,
not
and-
trust our wisdom before?
Paying you exactly this amount of respect at this moment.
It is appreciated. And, like, I'll bow slightly.
And then without any sort of ceremony whatsoever, I'll turn and start burning and smashing some more. But not that specific thing.
I think Fritz will be muttering under his breath about meat-headed soldiers.
Like it hasn't happened before.
It like your tiny little gnome voice.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Little meat-headed soldiers!
Ich bin ein Gnome. Yeah. So what are you gonna do with this thing? And also, Yorha. Well, Fitz. While Yorha's off doing the thing, you found what the scorpion demon pulled out of the goblin.
Interesting. What did it pull?
It's this little kind of oblong thing that's sort of hard, and if you didn't know any better, you'd say it was an egg.
Ugh.
Ashen.
That's weird. I probably have some like empty grenade canisters, like small metal cylinders. I'm just gonna pop it in one of those and seal it down tight.
Okay. And is there anything left that I hope this is all being streamed to chat just to make sure.
It is.
Okay, cool. Is there any other thing that you want to do with this body before you continue?
I would like to spit at it from like where I'm laying.
Success. You spit it.
Hooray!
Just hit Sunrathi. I'm trying to decide, would I do a battlefield vivisection or...
Oh, that would probably be, that could be the compromise we reach with Yorha.
Yeah. I mean, it's already like 3/4 vivisected anyway.
Dissected.
Yeah,
Dissected
if
supplies alive.
Yorha saw you actively destroying the thing, then
So yeah, I think
Mike, it was vivisected to death.
I think Fritz is just sitting there with his notepad and scalpel, or we probably got a boot knife or something, which is about the size of the scalpel. But
the armor opens up, and a gnome in a lab coat sort of sit like.
yeah. But yeah, so he's just drawing pictures of the thing and cutting out parts and has a little scale that he's weighing things and just documenting everything that he can about this thing.
Okay. Roll me another intelligence check.
I will give you guidance.
Oh, nice.
So take a d4.
Another 2 for that one. Holy shit! I rolled a 1.
You're not a halfling, are you?
Nope.
It's the other little person.
Yeah. You could have been lucky, is all I'm saying.
So this thing was been torn apart,
Yeah.
right? It's real hard to tell. What you absolutely know for a fact is that this is not a human head.
That's good.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it sure as hell looks like it before he got ripped in half. It looked like somebody took a human head and poked holes in it for eyes and then turned it upside down and grafted these weird-ass legs to it. But no, this creature, whatever this hellish-looking creature is, absolutely had some sort of life cycle that was not recover head from person, sprout legs.
Okay, well, I'm an engineer. I'm not a doctor, so maybe someone back at the base can use this information better than I.
Damn it, Jim! I'm an engineer, not a doctor.
Smashing it open with a wrench was probably not the right call, but it was very satisfying.
That's how I crack eggs for breakfast.
Right. Just put it over the bowl. Wham!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get hard enough. If you get it hot enough, the shell cooks out.
Oh God,
Sure.
So what's the... Sorry, go ahead.
the Dan Reichert method of cooking an egg.
All right, well, so you're in this ruined village. It's days rides anywhere out of here. I assume that you want to set up camp for the night?
Yeah.
Is there any building less murdered by rot, or do we just burn
So
it down?
You burn all the rot, right? There's no
Yeah,
rot left. If there was rot on wood,
it's more. Are there any buildings left?
I think
Well,
Fritz
it's-
has converted the card into a pop-up camper, actually.
I'll allow it. That's awesome. There's no sleeping under the cart. Fritz
Yeah.
kicks the wheel and it goes.
Well, no, he would have kicked that wheel, but it was cut in half.
Yeah, the cart's already busted though. Is the problem?
No, that's why
Everybody's
we
sort of
relate
on
to
an
it.
angle now.
The thing is, it's only gnome size. Sorry, guys. So,
It's just the officers' quarters.
yeah.
All 7 feet of Yorha is looking at the damn small ass tent saying, "I hate gnomes."
I mean, like I was about to say, I think Yorha once he's done burning and smashing, would probably just like unroll a blanket on like the ground, and then just. Yorha's a campaigner from way back in the day.
Right.
That's what we do.
How is Vashla looking to my?
Yeah.
Oh, she'll be fine.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
No, but like,
The fever.
well, no, I've got like a mental image of like the two of us like sitting on a log by a campfire.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like you've weathered the storm, Highness.
You like the whole process. Is like having the flu. It's you feel incredibly cold, even with the fact that your temperature is spiking, and yeah, it burns you out, and you feel incredibly weak and tired afterwards. And there's probably like vomiting and other less pleasant things that go along with having the rot flu or whatever it is. But after your second or third time throwing up, you start feeling much better.
I probably try to, get through it with as much dignity as I can muster given the circumstances. I kind of pictured I would be at least trying to make it past it being like a sentry anyway, if all I can do is bundle up near the fire.
You're sitting there on the log, like as close to the fire as you can get, with a bucket between your legs, this sort of thing. The blanket around your shoulders, and like everyone's more like.
I actually can't see you because so I switched to Firefox. It doesn't want to play nicely with webcam stuff either, so I'm just looking at everyone's avatars.
No, well, I made a throwing up motion with my mouth.
Oh, well, okay.
And you watch
Just
us on
pretend.
Twitch?
Yeah.
I mean, I can, but there's a delay.
Yeah.
So it's like I just have to sit there and wait.
Wait for a second. I was like, wait, he's not doing anything. Yeah. Okay. So, the watch passes. Vashla, you start feeling better after a couple hours. You're actually able to get some rest. Sinrathia's able to not hold your hand the whole night. I mean, you still can if you want to. It's up to you. Yorha and Fritz. I don't know, Fritz, if you've got a watch contraption that you run as opposed to actually going on watch.
It's a Ruby script that just every like 0.5 seconds scans the nearby area. If it finds anything, sends out an alarm.
I was thinking like something he cranks.
It's a rat bot.
I was gonna say, there was something for the rock gnome that makes certain trinkets, and I can't remember what they were now. I thought one of them was like some sort of mechanical thing.
There's a clockwork toy.
Yeah, clockwork toy.
It moves 5 feet across the ground and each of your turns in a random direction and makes noises as appropriate.
That's awesome.
That sounds like a perfect watchdog to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So the watch passes. Like, there's nothing else out here. It's a lovely night, despite the fact that it's kind of like autumny, and it's still lovely, perfect, and sunny down here in the south. Well, not sunny, lovely, perfect, and warm down here in the south, despite that nice, calm, cool night, or calm, warm night. Clear is the word I was looking for. Clear. So I think we're going to be getting in the habit of doing breaks every couple hours.
Yep.
Okay, so it's been an encounter in D&D terms, which means 2 hours of real life.
Mm-hmm.
We'll take 5 for a bio break, and we'll start back here in like 11ish.
Okay.
Let's see if I have any hold screens. Oh, good. I've
Yeah.
got one, but it says that D&D podcast plays Paranoia.
Just use
Well,
MS Paint and sort of put a box over it.
Yeah.
Just left Vashla infected.
mhm.
All right, I'm gonna grab a drink. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Also need to get what do you call it? Music to go over this, and then figure out a good way to get music to just pipe over something.
Mass Effect elevator music.
I mean, despite having worked for them, I don't know that EA would smile on that sort of action.
It chiptune.
Mm-hmm. I don't know that helps. Is it control? No. It's just going to resize the whole thing. There we go.
Yeah, cantina music.
Oh, teeny! I'm going to get this done just in time for the break to be over.
I was kind of hoping the church doors would be locked because I get an advantage on strength checks while I'm raging. So I wanted to just super kick the doors down.
I mean, you could have just, right?
Yeah.
I could have evaporated the doors on the way in.
Yeah.
I
bad
imagine you
shape.
walked up, you closed the doors, and then kicked your way in.
Yeah.
Like very calmly, like close the doors and make sure they latch.
No,
And
I just
smash
go
them.
ahead. I just go ahead and close it for you. Like,
Yeah, 'cause
right
we
before
know.
You get there. Right before you get there, in your face.
It's my thing. Is the equivalent of like my entrance pyro. Is the doors shattering in front
Yeah.
of me?
However many adventures we've been on, I've hung around you long enough to know what sets you off. And maybe my grandma was good at predicting that too.
Maybe that's a family trait.
Yeah. I know what makes other people angry.
That all seems fair.
Yeah.
The follow-up question is this at all the right color? It's almost the right color. And now that I've mentioned it, everyone will notice that it's the wrong color. But that's fine. And then I hit this button. Hold screen.
Rah.
Da 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 da.
Is our voices still coming through the stream, though?
Yeah,
Probably.
Okay.
because we don't have music, so I'm just doing this instead.
Okay.
I mean, like,
Hi,
yeah,
everyone.
I don't have a line on any Creative Commons music, and I don't have OBS set up to like credit people even halfway properly. So, yeah.
We'll start singing.
I was gonna say Jordan dance for our amusement, but your webcam
Yeah.
isn't working.
No. Look, I'll just say I'm doing it and it's fine.
Yeah.
All that matters is that I tried.
All right. Well, I'm gonna wander off very briefly, which is probably gonna summon Mike. But
Yeah,
I
for
require
10
a beer that also has coffee flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love how we forced Mike to come up with a new mechanic to deal with the fact that we weren't what he thought we were.
Yeah.
That is so very D&D.
No. Sarathi is so convincing at being a defined authority figure that she like actually tricked the GM too.
Now, what I'm really looking forward to is in one round of combat casting like guidance and then fireball.
Mm-hmm.
You still don't roll on Fireball, do you? It's
No, it's a save. Or like healing word and fireball then.
There you go.
Also, I'm gonna take down the hold screen. It's just bothering me.
Why? So what is Yorha's feelings towards Vashla versus Granny Stormforge at this point?
I mean, Vashla is Vashla is being like a fairly green adventurer, right? As opposed to Granny Stormforge, who
Well, I mean, my idea was that I've been a mercenary for a couple decades, but I'm still young for a dwarf.
and so that's kind of what I'm thinking. I think he's maybe not giving Vashla proper credit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, mechanically, we're all level 1, so we are still like chumps. Like, we're not good adventurers yet.
No.
We're just people dumb enough to adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Yorha has been not that thing.
Right. No, like
To
you
him.
used to be like a barbarian berserker, like Paragon class or Paragon tier back with Granny Stormforge.
Yeah, so like, I think he, without, like, I think he might be mildly patronizing.
Just mildly.
I mean, like, I think he assumes that everybody who's out here is going to pull their own weight or die, because that's how it works. And yeah, if that helps.
So I'm sensing that this story takes place maybe a month after I had to bury my husband's remains.
If even that long. Like, we might be 5 days past that.
Yeah. For me, that's what I'm like headcanoning reasons for my rolls being shit tonight.
Well, because you're still like in a
My
rough
beard is
place.
longer.
Morning.
Yeah, Mike definitely has longer beard than I do.
Yeah.
Someone asked in chat if we were purposefully sitting in order of ascending beard length. Well, you're a void screen, Jordan.
Yeah. No, I'm all beard. That is all beard.
My webcam's actually working. It's
Yeah.
just-
It's focused on all my beard.
Yeah.
Also, my beard used to be green. It was fun. It's going to be red or something next weekend.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's the morning. The watch passes successfully. No one died. Vashla is back to fighting strength. And Sinrathi.
Do I have that?
I've done before.
Do I have that spell slot back?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sweet. Thanks, God.
And you're welcome.
Whoever you are.
So, just for the character flavor, whatever. Apparently, the secret to my smokeless ammunition here is I actually have a magical bag that I use to make this ammunition. So,
okay.
What wonders lie
Yeah.
within the magic sack?
apparently, infinite ammo plus all the magical tools I need to fix my gun up.
Wow.
Tasty.
Because that's just what I do.
The gun is a portal to an ammo dimension?
Yep. I mean, it's not literally infinite ammo, but it never runs out.
I mean, for the
Infinite
I can only-
bag?
I can only
but
pull
never
40
runs
rounds
out. It
from
is literally.
I can't infinitely pull ammo out of it. At
Turn it
will.
over.
Yeah.
Bullets just keep falling out.
I
40 at a time. And I take a short rest.
I really want you to like Raylan Given someone now. Just like dropping a bullet on their chest, and be like, next one's coming faster, and like
Next one's coming with 39 of its friends.
No, but like Fritz is the gun wizard for the original gun wizard idea that we had.
yeah.
And that's kind of perfect. Thank you.
That's why Fritz is in charge, because he's the gun wizard.
I mean, he has the gun that probably confers a degree of authority in this world.
Yeah. Also, like,
Yeah.
it might actually be blessed that you have this gun.
Like,
They just might be a little not super happy with you
is it
giving it to the masses.
blessed by me, or is it like
Oh, I
blessed
meant,
by?
like, authority to have.
Okay, yeah.
It's like,
It's
you know
A
you're not
license.
actually God, right?
Say it again?
What's that?
You know you're not actually God, right? So nothing like that's.
I'm just the only one who has the phone that picks up his calls.
My not paladin husband wanted to make a pilgrimage to study under Sinrathi.
Yeah, I'm kind of a big deal.
Yes.
In case you haven't tried it, Doritos and Bloody Marys. I don't know why, but it's fantastic together. So
Mike, if you ever make your way up to Vancouver,
that looks like parallelogram.
parallelogram coffee beer.
Oh, that was close. That sounds great.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, so the night's over. What is the phrase?
Dawn comes early with rosy fingers.
The date. Did you? Okay, perhaps did not mean it that way. The date
Not that way.
banishes the dark. What a terrible night to have a curse. Oh well, it doesn't matter. So you day breaks. Everyone's alive. Everyone's happy, healthy. Fritz's ammo is magically refilled.
That's an hour rest.
Yeah,
sh-
the long rest is 40. The short rest is 10.
Okay.
Try it again.
And so you have fulfilled your initial requirement from the Knights of the Ashen Empire. You need to go burn out all the rod of Baza, which you have done. The second part was to report to Lorca and see if they need anything, because Lorca's grain shipments are not coming the way they're supposed to, and you need to fix that, because otherwise people are going to starve to death, because this is the South. They don't have large amounts of stores for people to fuck around with.
Makes sense.
Can I roll to see if it's an owl?
I'm sorry. What?
You weren't there for Mouse Guard,
No.
were you?
Mike was.
Yeah.
Here's the other
Right,
one
yes.
fighting- yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you were Devon.
Yeah. I would like
Level
to
11.
argue for the group to go with, that I'm in good enough health to move on, and we should, because the quality of life of people in the South is somewhat important to me.
It was never in question that you're in good health, Vashla. Let's go.
Yeah, no, you're fine. I mean, worst case scenario, we'll just amputate a finger and res you when we get there.
I still can't do that yet.
Yeah.
Yours like on the job training.
You just need the proper
but-
incentive, apparently.
Yeah, but yesterday you couldn't drive the rod out of someone either.
Right.
So.
True. Needs musts.
Necessity is the mother of resurrection.
Exactly. We gotta push this god thing and see how fast it moves.
All right. So
Yeah, let's get on the road.
fast forward to Lorca.
Working.
All right. Please ignore the obviously modern,
The cranes in the background.
the cranes in the background, the flags in the foreground,
And the
I love
road.
this castle. Well, it's pretty roady. So Lorca Castle never fell during the war. And it is one of the things that this is the castle on the hill of the city of Lorca. The city of Lorca is incredibly proud of their castle because it never fell during the plague. And I mean, the city fell. Everyone in the city died, 80% of the people. But the castle itself survived mainly because it wouldn't let the peasants in. But I mean, don't let that shit bother you.
That bothers me. I
Yeah.
have successfully failed against bother.
But the people of Lorca are super proud of their city. I'm proud of their town. I'm proud of their castle because it never fell even during the plague. So there is quite a bit to see in Lorca. It is a moderately sized. Oh god, I lost the button for Lorca. I am bad.
Push button, receive Lorca.
Yeah. It is. It's a. I think it's like a 5,000 people live here. Like it's a pretty large.
Wow.
That is, yeah.
Right.
Especially for a place that got hit as hard as this place did.
Right. It is bouncing back hard. There are a substantial number of people that live here. It is like Lorca's known for like the goods that it makes, like shoes and clothes and stuff. And the other thing that they do is they export the grain they don't eat. And the South is arranged in these concentric circles of cities, or sorry, towns that provide sanctuary to villages. The villages are like farming communities, and that's literally all the villages do is farm stuff and send food out to the towns. The towns eat what they need, and then they bustle it up and they send it to the cities, from like the small ones to the big ones. And that is how the repopulation of the South, the Kingdom of Rot, has continued as it has, just as well as it has, is because there's this very strong, very cooperative ethos of, don't eat too much, right? Eat only what you need. Keep working, and together we'll get through this. And that's apparent in the streets of Lorca. There are people. Everyone is, if not necessarily happy, they seem to be working together. There's a community spirit. If the castle stood, so can we. They believe strongly in their ability to get through this. There are 2 major inns in Lorca, only 2. One that serves the commoners and one that serves the adventurers. The Commoners Lodge is why can't I find my buttons for all these things?
Is it Commoner 64?
Oh god, you pain me. Apparently I didn't proofread this. Every time I click it, it disappears. It was the Naked Gypsy briefly, but that's not super great.
No.
No, so we're gonna go with the Pirate and Chalice. That's awesome. And the other one is
Is this at all on any body of water?
That's what I was about to ask.
Okay.
Wait, no, it is nowhere near the sea.
Yeah. So it's the Pirate and Chalice in the middle of like a landlocked region.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the Chalice is actually the name of a nearby lake, right? So the pirates are on the lake.
they're lake pirates.
You're just making me flash back to an Arrogant Worms song, which is a Canadian deep cut no one else will get.
I know who the Arrogant Worms are.
Good. Do you know their I think it's Bob the Pirate?
No, but they were that a cappella band, I think.
They were a comedy band. I don't think they were a cappella. They might have been.
So the other band, the other group is other inn is called Illheart. It explicitly serves a not a higher class of clientele, but specifically a clientele that have more money.
Okay.
So generally speaking, the Knights of the Ashen Empire, the Ash Knights, after successfully, I actually have that song, I believe. after successfully completing a mission, you're supposed to head back to people who need you and see if there's something you can do. And here you are in Lorca, walking up to the castle on the hill.
Is this is a place that's been standing since I was around the last time, right? Like I'm familiar with the existence of this place.
The castle's probably 1,000 years old.
Okay.
It is literally built on a hill such that if people are trying to take it, they have to charge up the hill the long way, getting killed the entire time. It was a good fortress then, and it's a good fortress now. Slightly less good now that there are guns, but you know.
I imagine like a lot of its defenses comes from like very simple tower defense mazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Good archers, good ranged attacks. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually
you know,
think that's a trebuchet set up there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Give Fritz a good sapper team and we can take it down. Okay.
Do you have that like plan? Like, is that something that Fritz just does in his spare time?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think so.
Are you just talking about it like as we're walking up the hill?
some people are crossbow ninjas. Like they worry about what happens with a crossbow if a ninja shows up. Other way around. Fritz is always worried about how the proper way to breach a castle.
Like, I imagine it's like your Blades in the Dark Vice. Like, what you do to relax is plan elaborate break and entry into like various and sundry castles.
I imagine it's his process improvement. Let's see. I could probably take down this wall with a team of 3 sappers tunneling for 2 weeks, and we'd be there. And to counter that, I'd probably do this. So yeah, I think it's just that he's continually trying to challenge himself to improve on defenses and other feats of engineering by figuring out how to break them down first.
I want to say the line we get of that, like the camera's following us, and it's just like a J cut for Fritz. So the audio line starts before we cut in close to the party, and it's just burning oil. I think I'd use more burning oil.
So like the camera continues, and like we get another J cut for Fritz as he's going through the portcullis, like something along the lines of, yeah, that tower's too weak. He's like pointing it out as he walks by. And then the next cut is the interior of kind of like the Dragon Age Inquisition throne room. Like you've got that table, and the table is of 3 regions in the Southern Kingdom, and Lorca is kind of like at the crossroads for all 3 of them. So it is important. It's defensive, and like a lot of trade travels through here onward to elsewhere. The sea catches, sea trade travels up through here onwards towards the capital, that sort of thing. Excuse me. And there is a lady in the room. The lady has this very small badge of office in the form of a thin diadem that she wears on her head. Like all popular, or trend-focused people in the Southern tradition, she's got a very high-necked gown, very cut in a very conservative style, high-waisted, high-necked. The gown just brushes the floor. Floor doesn't go all the way down. It's fitted like on her wrists and the waist, but the entire gown sags a little bit, like it's just kind of hanging off her frame. It was fitted, but it was fitted a while ago, and things aren't great. It's hard exactly to tell if it's like sleep that she's missing, or food that she's missing, or stress that she's having. But her hair is fine, right? It's done up in the Southern style, which is most of it's back in a bun, except for a couple on the side, which is held back, kind of a wavy style down to her shoulders. And she's got a dagger and a pistol at her hips. And her hands are on the table, on this like war table, and she's talking with her cavaliers. There's a couple outriders there talking with her, and they've got their guns up on their shoulder. These are all non-sanctioned guns. These are the guns that the people that are not of the Royal Order hold. And there's 6 of them there, and she has 2 bodyguards that are kind of sitting back away from the discussion as she talks to them about patrolling, figuring out what's going on with the villages and why hasn't she heard from some of them, and the problems he's running on the roads, and she's constantly going over 9 different things at the same time, asking over and over again, while these guys try to get in a word edgewise, and eventually she is unable to get whatever answer she wants out of them and dismisses them in disgust.
Do we know her?
This is Countess Margaret, and
Okay.
she is in charge. I was originally Meredith, but I thought that was too close to the Mouse Guard campaign, so...
That is the canonical name of the lady what runs the Mouse Guard, so don't blame me for that.
No, that's all right. Margaret's close enough.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't met her before, but you know that you all are given appropriate briefings for people that you can take orders from, that are allowed to do, like, talk to you, because you're knights, right? You're knights of the realm. If an innkeeper says, "Oh Lord, please save me," you're like, well, maybe if I have time, right? But like, they can't order you around, and counts can't really either. But they can ask for your help, and you can be nice. Like her, she only runs Lorca, right? There's a duke that runs the rest of the area.
Okay.
Do I know her from my background at all?
Roll me some history.
Okay.
How's your intelligence?
It's -1.
You're gonna be the best queen.
Jesus. No, this is why I wanted like my husband to not die, because he was the one that took care of that.
That's the only reason, though. So
Yeah.
Just that. Just
Just that.
trivia mostly.
Yeah.
Administrivium.
Yeah, I don't remember shit about her, so I'm not gonna say.
Well, I mean, there's tales of a countess that lost her husband and took up his job. Basically inherited his lands and did the needful, which is usually not a negative, not a positive thing. But maybe it was Lady Countess Margaret, but you can't remember. It's boring human stuff.
Yeah.
It's not exciting dwarf stuff.
My husband would have known, and then I'm just gonna like quietly think about that for a bit.
I'm waiting for Fritz to do a thing, and then I will present in the appropriate manner whatsoever. But there's a way that we saluted people who were giving us orders in my day.
Oh, jeez, I think Fritz is completely out of his element here for sure. Interfacing with.
I'm gonna give you a pat on the back and confer guidance.
No, I'm not trying to like roll anything against her. I just
I know, but you get a warm tingly.
Oh, thank you. You helped me out.
Yeah.
I got my shyster behind me here. I mean, no, my religious leader.
Bring Kaith. Kaith is the one that would stab her just reflexively.
No, I will greet. Is she acknowledging our presence? Is she still standing off to after dismissing these people?
She's not paying attention to you. She's engrossed in everything else that's going on. And right now it's just her, right? So she's just engrossed in her and this war tale in front of her.
So yeah, I don't think Fritz is really huge on manners in the sense social manners. So I think he'll sort of march up clanking along. And kind of cough politely, at least what he can imagine coughing politely might sound like. And try to get her attention.
She looks up and she says, and she kind of looks at you with a raised eyebrow.
As soon as she looks in our direction, Yorha goes through this like elaborate bow / weapon presentation, and winds up like on one knee with his glaive in front of him and his kilt billowing.
It's not the salute.
I'm sure Fritz is just face palming right now.
I think it's got to be like more elaborate than that the first time, and then afterwards you can do that.
One of her bodyguards at the back twitches a bit. And you see that he does not have the scrub guns. He's got one of the big repeaters.
Oh, fun. Great. Acknowledged.
Yeah. Sorry, you kind of confused me with back and forth with the names again. Was it Margaret? Was that the
Margaret.
name? Margaret, yes. Greetings, Lady Margaret. My name is Fitz. I'm oh shit, what's my rank?
Captain,
Sergeant, lieutenant, captain? Yeah.
knight, captain.
I'm imagining this happening like as
Yeah.
you're talking there.
What's my rank? What's my rank?
It's new. I just got promoted, so yeah, you might not be so fast on that.
Knight, captain.
Greetings. I'm Knight Captain Fritz with the Ash Warden. We are here to assist you with any problems you might be having.
Are you in the steampunk armor or just a gnome right now?
Yeah, you're totally sergeant, by the way.
Sergeant?
Yeah.
Yes. No, right. Sergeant. That's right.
Okay.
Write that
Sergeant
down.
Fritz. Yeah.
Sergeant Fritz.
Okay. And she says, I take it you're not from here, Sergeant.
Shit, what town are we from?
You mean from the north or from the south? Or are you from the dwarf lands? Or are you from the elf lands? Or are you from another country entirely?
No, I don't think I've gone very far from where I was born, but I imagine it was probably pretty close to wherever the Wardens are based.
So you can just call me my lady. Or Lady Lorca if you really want to be fancy.
Thank you, my lady. I don't do this very often.
It's okay. Am I to, and I don't know if you all have like a uniform or a style of dress, or I mentioned you're all wearing kind of piecemeal stuff, right?
Yes.
I think we have
Very much
one
so.
common piece of clothing.
I am definitely dressed like a boring ass Jedi.
I'm just wearing my chainmail, maybe some sort of not medallion, but something.
Like this is like a shield of office that you all wear,
Yeah.
either as a necklace or as a brooch
Something.
or something. There's got to be like some
Witcher,
sort of iconography.
necklace, kind of something.
Mine's a belt buckle.
Says Banff.
It says the same thing on my wallet. Yeah, and she says so. Ash Wardens.
Yes, my lady.
Have you something to report?
No, we.
Pardon my my dour attitude, but it is never good when the darkens your doorstep.
We heard there was issue with the grain shipments.
Uh,
And we were here to offer our help.
Is
Right?
Baza isn't part of her domain. Like she's in control of Lorca.
Right, she's just a countess. So it's
Yeah.
just this, just Lorca basically.
Okay.
There's a duke that's in charge of the entire duchy.
But like Baza would funnel grain up here.
It would funnel grain through here,
Okay.
but it's not her responsibility, and also it's
Oh.
dead.
Yeah, but that's what I was going to report is that Baza fell to the rot, and we have cleansed it.
Oh well, yeah, that's why we were here originally.
That's very worrying. It's not that. It's quite close to my domain.
It's, and we are here to help in whatever way we are able, and hoping that you might be able to give us some guidance. And I think I bow a little. Like, I don't have to, but I just do reflexively.
And she like nods to recognize the bow. So My problems are manifold. I'm this. We are understandably understaffed. Right? I do not have enough soldiers to go out and enforce gathering grain as needed, or enforce order in my lands. And you know that she's taking a liberal interpretation of my lands when she says that, because she just runs the town. And we're not meeting our quotas. Things are failing out there, and I don't know why.
I mean, we do specialize in out there.
Would we even get ourselves involved with like local law enforcement, I guess you could say? I mean, I could see we're in charge of, rot control, but would we have involve ourselves, or would the Ash Wardens involve themselves with disputes of the law?
That's explicitly not your charter.
Okay.
Whether or not you get involved is not up to your charter. It's up to you, the players.
Right.
Yeah.
I think Fritz is certainly looking for a way not to get involved with enforcing grain collection.
Right.
That's completely unboring to him. But if there's some other cause, that could be interesting. So
Does Fritz literally say, "I'm not interested in enforcing a grain"? There's something else that's interesting.
I don't know how much inner monologue it has. I hope he.
I mean, you're not an idiot. You have some intelligence and presumably some wisdom.
Well,
Or
yeah,
just
I have
tact.
average wisdom. No, tact maybe not. Charisma might be tact.
Do you have bureaucracy or any sort of social ability?
Do you have politician wise?
I will. So I am trained in persuasion and insight. So I'm not. I know.
Roll me some insight.
Okay. 16.
What was the wording on coming to this town as an extra thing?
We were told to report here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a communication network that's faster than horses. They have mail mice that does that thing for them. Not literally, so it was funny.
But they're going to fox it.
Yeah. But yeah, you
But they're owned by Disney now.
counts, dukes, viscounts, barons, certain peerages of the realm have the ability to task wardens as necessary for things like, Vaza had blight, was filled with rot, and we need this other town checked out for in case there's rot and stuff there too, right? Like, my villages aren't doing well; they're not sending grain. Sucks to be you. Send some soldiers. I haven't heard anything from this village, and I think they're dead. Send some wardens.
Yeah.
That seems reasonable.
I mean,
So, and as long as you're out there, you got to check in, because you don't normally patrol through counties. There's only so many of you.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, personally, regardless of that, I think Vasha would be in favor of checking it out anyway, because this town is, or like this city or whatever, is proof that the South will.
Rise again.
I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna
Say it. Say it. Although, to be fair, since they're dwarves, they're not going to rise very high.
I mean, the South will dig deep again.
I mean, there's no statues to the rot here.
Yeah, because it didn't come second yet.
Not one. It was civilization that came in second.
Oh my god. Anyway, yeah.
They're proud of their giant city.
Their monument to second place is the city.
Well, my character is all in favor of seeing the South recover as best it can.
So yeah, unless there was something else the insight roll is getting me.
I have your answer for what the insight roll is getting you. I just haven't told you.
Oh, okay. I'll wait for that.
So she looks you right in the eye and she says, I'm afraid that the village of Viznar is beginning to fall to rot, and I need you to check it out. And she's lying.
This is where we kill her.
What evidence of rut do you have?
I've received no word from her couriers. It's only 2 days' ride along this road here, and she points to a road on the map that is marked with like a crossed sword icon. Right down this road to Vizra. Viznar. Scout the situation, speak to the mayor, make sure that the village still lives, and report back. And then you can go on your way. 4 days.
If you really want us to go check out this town, we need to know the actual reason why you're sending us down there, not some reason that you think we want to hear.
I am doing everything I can with the resources available, and I will make sure that I will not have this town fall on my watch. You are here, and you are resources that I will use.
Just note to self: I owe Fritz 1 high five.
Unless you'd like to disobey the direct request of a countess.
I think I'm going to recuse myself from the room at this point.
I'm gonna follow because bodyguard.
But I'm gonna tell them that I'll be in the infirmary.
Your mouth is open.
I'm now standing up since I never got acknowledged. I was still in the bow.
Oh, poor Yorha.
I will stand up and not brandish weapon, but I know that there's some tension in the room, and am therefore preparing to protect the weird tiny person who I'm supposed to be following around.
The weird fire thrower.
Eyes on the bodyguards in the back of the room.
So, once again, I don't do it.
They radiate threat, like the kind of deadly threat that, yeah.
Kind of figured.
Like, kill them first if you have to.
The plan, if it comes to that.
So, knowing protocol, if I don't aid her and she claims that it was a legitimate request by whatever countess status she has, I will probably be in trouble with my superiors.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you ignore her and she's right, you're screwed. If you do what she says and she's wrong, I mean, the Wardens aren't going to be super happy that you're fucking off collecting grain as opposed to putting out the blight or the rot, setting fire to the rot. But
okay, so I think Fritz will look at her as coldly as an engineer looks at a problem that needs to be dealt with. I don't know, that didn't make any sense. But
coldly is a misfiring carburetor.
Yeah. And say, as this is an official request, we will indeed investigate this claim of rot.
Get it in writing.
I assure you that if nothing is found, it might be a long time before your land sees an ash warden again.
That's a good threat.
Yeah,
that is pretty good.
Excellent. Right, and if she didn't look so haggard and pale and starving, she'd probably have blanched a little bit. Or maybe she did too.
Yeah.
And she says dismissed.
Blanching intensifies.
Right.
And then I think.
Oh, she throws you a couple credit chits. She says, stay the night at our inn, or talk to the ash smith before you go on your way.
What is an ash smith?
I think a gunsmith.
Yeah, they're just
is that what
Called gunsmith.
After the gunsmiths get really good, they change their name to Ash. So.
Oh, okay. I didn't get that bit. Okay.
And then she like turns back to her map and like pointedly ignores anything else you do.
Oh, sorry. I meant to say that I'd take my leave. I wouldn't stick around.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought I was going to say that out loud, but then I didn't. So yeah.
So is there an infirmary here?
Yeah. There is a entire medical facility.
I want to see if I can find anyone who's infected with rot.
They would have been burned
Blasted out of
or killed way before they would let them into the castle.
Okay. I'm definitely willing to go into like the perimeter town.
Okay.
And yeah. So I'm gonna go do that. Like, well, actually, let's take in the sights of this historied town, and I might like spit a little in the castle.
After you, your worship.
As you will, Your Highness.
We'll probably like do that thing where it's like hold the door. It's like, no.
Yeah.
You.
Well, it's whoever gets to hold the door wins that particular fight.
Yeah.
So in the less storied areas of Lorca, the main thoroughfares are all very built up. Right, the popular inn is on the main thoroughfare, at least the castle. And as you get farther and farther from the castle towards the city walls, that's where you find the slums, effectively. And one of these, just outside the city walls of Lorca, there is the field hospital. It's a word for it. I just don't know what it is. Where it's basically like the surgeon's shack.
Yeah, it's like a triage tent.
Right. Well, it's way more formal than that. It's like where
like a crisis center sort of thing.
Right. But it's outside the city walls.
Yeah.
Right. So when people are sick, they go there. They leave the city if it's bad, and they go to the crisis center. And it's huge, right? It's got many rooms. It's got several people working full time, and the lady running the joint has a similar badge to the one that you have.
Oh my!
She's not an ash warden, but she's warden associated.
Okay.
So lower on the totem pole, but familiar with the ashy way of things.
Mm-hmm.
And she introduces herself as Sister Agnes.
Well met, Agnes. I thank you for the work you're doing, and I'm going to see where are your two worst cases.
She kind of smiles at you and she says, I was, this is the calling I accepted. I once roamed the fields, as you do now. I've just settled down to a slightly quieter life.
I'm glad you were able to survive your trials and tribulations, and you seem, and like, I don't know what the word for it is, but like it's not content or at peace, but sort of like this seems to suit you.
It is it is more satisfying. I have a more direct positive impact on the people around me this way than I ever did running all night in the saddle to slay another batch of those infernal demons.
And just the like knowing nod, and
she says, "Well, no, come this way." And she says, she points out most of the cases are injury, people who have had their hands crushed in the mills, or stabbed, farm-related injuries. Right, fell on a pitchfork, caught my leg in the scythe, right, and it's all horrible. It's all medieval style injuries.
Yeah.
Yorha's just laughing at him in the background. Apparently.
Yeah. In my day, we weren't dumb enough to get our hands caught in a millstone. Not twice.
We did, but we just came back better than before.
Yeah.
I was just laughing at how all of our games have like this like horribly oppressed proletariat class.
Mm-hmm.
That we choose whether or not we want to care about.
I don't know where that comes from. And she leads you to like out the door and kind of like around to a side entrance.
Yep.
Where there is a couple sellswords. these people are wearing mismatched armor and have no badge of office or symbol of rank, but they are wearing weapons, so you infer that they are sellswords. Guarding the door, and she says, "Yes, I am." The Richards do a good job of watching these doors for a pittance, so I allow them to stay, and like they kind of like shrug.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they also have the sort of the dagger and pistol that's kind of popular on these parts on their belts. And she leads you inside, and she says, "This soul was we found wandering the fields, and normally we would have just burned him on the spot, but sometimes you pray for a change of things before you enact what must be done."
It's funny you use that word, and I'm gonna kneel down next to them, and let's see how religiosity I'm feeling. I'm feeling 13 religions.
Right. So, you know how we talked about the rock goblins before, about how they were sort of like rotting pustules, and their faces were contorted in agony, and they had these bubbles of rot fungus spores that was like puffed up. This guy's nowhere near that far.
Okay.
But he has the cold pallor and the sunken eyes and the darkened sockets of someone on their deathbed, and he reveals a bite wound.
Good. No, wait. The other thing.
In his leg that has been infected.
That's
and it has radiated from his leg, like the lower extremity, like the calf muscle, to down to his foot, and you can see like lines of the rot stretching outwards and upwards. And she says, "I mean, we'll have to take his entire leg."
I'm gonna like just let's see what may come of things, and then I try the religion test to see if I can turn rot.
Right. This guy's too far gone for you to level.
Okay.
You know what that means?
I mean, yeah, take the leg and I can cure wounds. Or I'm gonna. How many patients are there in here?
So there is only the one rot touch patient.
Oh, okay. I'm willing to take 20 on this. Like,
take 20 what?
Like, I don't know that I would sleep until I got through.
What's the thing?
It's not. It's an issue of severity.
Okay.
This is like the rot is no longer in the infection stage.
Okay.
Right. It is in the has taken hold stage.
Okay. So if they take the leg, then I'm gonna tell Nurse Agnes that take the leg, and I will do what I can for the pain and for the lasting of the injury.
Okay.
And I suspect she's expecting me to bust out herbs and bandages.
Right, like a poultice and shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they go through the whole process of I mean, it's battlefield medicine is still battlefield medicine.
Yeah.
Right. It's a tourniquet and some milk of the poppy soup or whatever, and then they saw the leg off.
Yeah.
And then they burn it, and then so she says, they burn the leg and they burn the wound, the stump. And, she says, "This is where the fever will come in and hopefully take the rot and not the person, not the soul."
Well, let's see what I can do to that effect, and then.
Right, and that's like a spell you cast, right?
Yeah, that's cure wounds.
Right, so that's far more than a first level peasant is going to ever have in hit points. Right?
Yeah. That's almost more than I have in hit points.
Right. So functionally, like sawing off a leg like that is a critical injury that puts them at like -1. Right, they'll die unless something good happens to them, and that brings them back up to full. So you don't cure the leg, or you don't restore the leg. Right, it's still gone. But like the skin like closes over it, like pink and new, right, whole. And,
that's gonna itch so bad.
My toes, man. But no, the guy's totally unconscious for this whole process. He passes out somewhere around saw cut 2.
Yep.
And Sister Agnes can't believe her eyes. Is this some new trick they've learned at the Mages College?
I believe it's a rather old trick, but it's new to me, and I believe it's new to us. And I sort of like tap the badge.
Okay. Maybe I should have stuck around a little longer.
Well, I have hope, at least, and you seem to be doing good work here. And I'm going to like put a hand on her shoulder, and with that confer guidance on her next check.
Okay, cool.
Listen, Zach, I said I was making a messiah, damn it.
True.
Zach's out there like,
True.
shoot him in the head.
Yeah, like twice. You gotta be sure.
Hit him and then hit him again.
Yep.
No, double tap.
Yeah, exactly.
So Vashla, Yorha, or Fritz, is there anything else y'all want
There's
to do? while you're
there's
here?
only like a couple repeating guns in the settings, so you have to like reload and then shoot them again.
Or have two guns.
Sorry, what were you saying, Mike?
Is there anything that y'all want to do while you're here?
Oh, I was just following after Sinrathi, being a good bodyguard.
Okay.
Especially since we ended up going further than we initially planned on. I probably even insisted.
And you're not wowed by the miracle that Sinrathi is doing?
No,
because it's
I am.
It's kind of business as usual, right?
It's overwhelming for me because I was infected the previous day, and this is the kind of thing that my husband wanted to learn from Sinrathi. So I'm probably just kind of like visibly moved. I'm probably just leaning on my warhammer and watching, a little bit away, like out of the way, so I don't become like a nuisance. But I'm still close by in case like it turns south.
They probably I probably would have asked you to help hold down the patient, honestly. Like
Yeah.
when the sawing started.
Yeah.
When this
I was
song
gonna-
started, hit his leg with your warhammer as hard as you
You have to pre-break the bones so
Yeah.
the saw can go through.
Yeah, exactly. At least it's not we asked you to remove the leg with the warhammer.
No, well, I have one hand
Some
there.
misery shit right there.
Two, I actually thought Sinrathi was gonna cauterize the wound.
Yeah, I thought that he was going to move a 6 foot of fire up against
Yeah.
his stomach.
Exactly. Just like,
No.
eat, eat, eat.
We cleared just enough space in the tent to do that. But yeah, no, I'm just
Yeah, I'm also gonna seek rest at the peasant inn.
Okay.
And I have a thing that lets me like basically live as the peasants do for free.
Gotcha. Oh, right, because people put you up room and board because of, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so, the Pirate and Chalice, as it's called, I mean, it's
It's fine.
fine, right? It's kind of nice, right? It's not the best place that you've ever been to. And, like, it doesn't have that sort of, it's a single-story timber-framed building. It's got a small fenced yard, an accommodation. There's like a large common room, and they all have several beds and straw mattresses.
Yeah.
honestly, I probably prefer inns like this because like the innkeeper doesn't try selling you on a bunch of extra benefits, and probably the drinks don't taste better, but they're probably stronger. So I
Could be.
mean, I'm all for going to that inn instead.
Do you insist on the top or bottom bunk?
The bottom bunk.
Okay. So I jokingly like, Your Majesty.
Yorha and Fritz, Vashla and Sinrathi have retired to an inn.
Yeah, we are still in the keep, right? Or we were just leaving the
Yeah, you've just left Countess Margaret's chamber.
gave us some fundage, right?
Yeah, they gave you a couple chits. It's like the Mark of the Countess for use at inns or the Ashsmith in case you need room or board or equipment.
Very interested in going and seeing what this newfangled military equipment might be. How's next stop? With the blessing of his commander gnome. Anyway,
Wait, you cut out. Where do you want to go next? The Ashsmith?
go over to the Ashsmith to see.
Oh
the
yeah, no,
weaponries.
I think Fritz really doesn't want to take her suggestion, but he can't help but go see the Ashsmith. So
All right, awesome.
yeah, he's definitely going to go there too. So
So the service piece. So you go to the Ashsmith, and there's a guy named whole personality written out here, Thomas. Is there in the forge? It's like one part forge, one part alchemy lab. There are alembics and bubbling beakers of all sorts, and a roaring fire, and there are more guns here than you've seen anywhere else in the kingdom, anywhere else in the south. This guy appears to be working tirelessly, nonstop, cranking out as many guns as he possibly can. And he's good and he's fast. He puts together like the barrel and the firing contraption for like a flintlock musket while you're there. And he's not like super old, but his fingers move like he's been doing this for 20 years.
He looks 16.
And Fritz, the thing that you see before that that Yorha's looking at all these guns, and there's breastplates and there's helmets and like light pieces of armor meant to deflect like the pauldron bit, right? It's just left shoulder / front of chest armor and like a girdle sort of thing to make sure that you don't die if you get shot there. Like all sorts of fancy armor this person is tinkering with, but the masterpiece, Fritz, that this person got their Ash title from, appears to be some sort of rotating musket.
like the barrel rotating kind of thing.
Yeah, there are many muskets welded onto what looks like a barrel hoop.
Crank.
Yeah, and a crank. Yeah.
There's display racks, right?
Yeah, but there are, like, usually you go to a place and every soldier has a gun, right? It's not quite Moscow style World War II where, one soldier gets the gun, the other soldier gets the ammunition. Yeah, everybody's got a musket in the army. And you've seen plenty of soldiers around here. And some of them even have like a couple pistols that they keep with them as well. This person, there are dozens and dozens and possibly hundreds of muskets and pistols and all manner of firearms that he is cranking out at a prodigious rate. There aren't that many soldiers around here.
I will pick a gun up off the rack and sort of test it for weight and then take a couple of practice swings.
He like pauses a second. Thomas pauses for a moment and watches you and says, I can add a lug on the bottom for an axe blade. You don't have to. Don't bash with that. It won't fire it straight anymore.
Won't the axe throw off the balance though?
You seem strong enough to hold it.
Sort of like, yeah. And I'll set it back on the rack.
No, like it immediately goes back to the pistol he's working on.
I'll go examine the armors since I am basically naked right now.
Zach, are you saying no to axe musket chucks?
I feel okay. So when you put it that way,
Yeah.
And there is like one plate armor that is here. Is like, and it's way too small for you. It is not like it's bigger than Fritz's size, but like if you had to guess, it was like molded for a human female. It's just not a 7-foot tall barbarian weapon. and the rest of it is like breastplates, helmets, pauldrons, piecemeal half plate armor sort of stuff. But this person is a mastersmith.
I think the kind of thing I'd be in the market for is probably like the barbarian style, like pauldrons and breastplate, maybe. Kilts
Barbarian
on
styles
below.
is 2 pauldrons, no chest plate, no leg armor.
Just shoulders. We only want to protect your shoulders.
Yeah, like the version of the mage from Dragon Age 2 with the giant armor, and that's it. He has it all, and it seems to be really good quality.
I'll look that over, and then I'll see if I can find. I'll find like looking like the biggest, nastiest looking gun he has, and see if I can swing it overhand.
Well, I mean, picking up the Gatling gun is going to be a bit of an issue, but
yes, short of that, maybe.
Yeah, so they're all like made to spec. It's all very precise work. So he has the long bore, the long barrel smooth bore muskets, right? There's no rifling yet here. And he can't make rifles that accept a cartridge. They all have to be muzzle loading or breech loading.
Oh yeah, because they have the thing that rules.
But like, it's as far as flintlocks go, this is a flintlock that does not appear to chip the flint. It looks like it's going to be incredibly reliable, and yeah, it's a real nice piece of work.
Can I pitch the gun cleaver to him?
The gun cleaver?
Do you not remember this?
I do, but I want you to pitch it for the audience.
Oh, yeah, just like this is a historical object. It existed, right? It still exists. It's in a museum in Europe, apparently. That is just a giant, like 4 or 5 foot long cleaver. It's not a sword; it's a cleaver that has scripture engraved on it, and then a flintlock gun built into the handle and one side of the blade.
I mean, he looks at it and says, "Yeah, I can do that."
Is the most Yorha thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean that's not here. We can do this too, and like he shows you a plan for like, it's a musket, but there's the wood goes down both the top and the bottom of the barrel, and he's mounted an axe blade on either side, and then a band of metal along around the barrel so that it's a great axe with a musket inside of it.
That seems acceptable. That seems acceptable. We can do that.
All right, give me 4 hours.
I will go find food.
Yeah, and he just switches mid-task to doing that. And like blacksmiths are like hale, beefy dudes. Mm-hmm. This guy bears similar markings as Margaret does. He seems smaller than he should be, like thinner, leaner, and has that same sort of pallid complexion and dark circles under his eyes. And just gets right to work.
My God, someone invented fantasy cocaine.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking here. He is clearly juicing.
It's definitely not that there isn't enough food.
So,
I mean,
I think
now
Fritz
it's
was
fantasy
watching.
cocaine.
Yeah. So I think Fritz was watching this entire exchange, and for the most part, he thought he was in for a treat. He was going to go to the sea. I mean, obviously, these people are carrying very nice guns around town, or the guards were at least had nice revolvers and whatnot. And except for the Gatling gun, I think he's extremely disappointed and feels like this smithy has no soul, if you will. There's no drive for innovation and creation. It's just mass marketing, just 1 or 2 designs over and over again for seemingly no purpose if there's not even that many soldiers. So
Yeah,
I think what
you hit the nail on the head.
yeah gun hipster. Nice.
Hipster.
Well, no, it's Fritz. To Fritz, it looks like a sickness, right?
So yeah, I think his goal is to he's gonna try to get down to what's really going on here.
Are you saying that you're going to try to get down with the sickness?
Yeah, no, not at all. I can't make the next noise.
Ooh, ah.
Yes, thank you, Mike. So I think I want to see if there's some sort of astute observation that a trained gunsmith might be able to make about the product.
Sure.
Critical or not? Yeah.
Are you looking at the person or the product?
I think I want to open with just the product. I don't want to go right for his techniques.
Let's go with perception then.
You still have guidance from when I patted you on the back in that room.
When I previously guided you.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a skill called Artificer's Lore. When you make a intelligent history check related to yada 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 and technological devices, I can double my proficiency bonus. So that's
Double it.
kind of what I was going for, was for that kind of check. But if I can do perception too, which I can't double.
No, I thought you said you doubled your proficiency bonus for it.
For an intelligence history check.
For a history
history.
check.
Yes.
I mean,
because there's not really a skill that's relating to crafting per se, and that's what I'm trying to draw on my knowledge, my past with crafting weapons to sort of find something to point out that would show that I understand the crafting process in weapons.
okay.
Basically, to get him, to engage effectively. That was my thought.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead and roll it. Well, it's hard to argue with a 20.
22 technically, but
Plus a D4 if you want it.
Yeah, go ahead
plus
and
the
roll
D4
too.
sure. Okay.
23.
23.
So, what precisely are you looking for here? You said you're trying to dig into why he's nuts. Why is there's no soul to his art?
Yeah, I think I want to make a comparison from his masterpiece towards this mass marketing,
Just kind of punching him out one after another.
Yeah, just comment on the beauty of this design versus what he's doing now, and sort of compliment his skills, but I don't know, it just saying something about how tricky it must have been to craft this, and sort of try to engage him in something that he clearly had passion about once.
Well, the two guards up in Countess Meredith's room, yes.
Right.
I crafted the repeaters.
They seemed like lovely designs. I didn't get a close look at them, or not that I would have wanted to, but
That's. I can't craft any more of those because we have no one blessed to use them, and this is what I do, and this is where I am, and I don't know how else to help. I am watching my countess waste away. I am worried that something bad is coming. I am plagued by nightmares, and all I know what to do is make more guns.
Hi, Tony.
surely
Yeah, I am apparently super transparent.
I didn't get the reference. So
Tony Stark.
Yeah.
oh okay.
is a master craftsman, and he doesn't know what to do, so he's just making more guns.
He's just making more. Yeah.
Weapons. He's a
Yeah, I
weapons manufacturer.
Okay.
And it's clearly a problem.
There's a tiny gnome operating like a fire extinguisher that he just keeps being shitty to.
He keeps. One's gonna be shitty. He's broken, right?
He keeps taking shots of whatever the forge runs on.
Forge water, fire water. I mean, that's Coke. Forge is running Coke.
God damn, nicely done. I was gonna say there's a literal demon in the bottle.
That's kind of where I was headed.
It's
Yeah.
even better. I like that a lot too.
I understand that you want to help your countess, but surely there's something better you can do. There's no way you'll ever find enough people to wield these weapons, and you clearly have a gift for these intriguing designs, and I'm assuming that the Gatling gun is made out of matchlocks. It's not repeaters.
No, it's the guns aren't repeaters, but like the mechanisms are repeating.
Yeah. I don't
So,
know.
like-
It's skirting the line of.
No, it's not skirting. It's outright not okay. But he's a master
He's master crafter.
gunsmith.
Yeah.
It's not like he's given to someone who can't use it. So
Okay.
So what should I do? I'm struggling to figure out how to make a difference. You're telling me that I can't help this woman that I idolize, and that I am here literally making guns in the shadow of her tower.
I think what you need to do is improve, innovate, design like you designed in the past, not just repeat the same actions over and over again and hope it brings quietness to your fears. This
I mean, you're an engineer. Be creative.
yeah, there's so much you can do that the common soldier can use. I'm sure with your knowledge, you could, design something that isn't prohibited by those pointy head freaks. I don't know what the hell kind of hats they have, but I'm sure they're stupid.
They're giant real people heads.
They're
Yeah.
okay. So Ashen and his lineage are clearly cone heads.
They're what's that race from Star Wars with the cone heads? They have two brains, Syrians.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so he thinks about it, and he says, I don't, maybe I need to change, but I'm not sure where I would go or what I would do.
I don't know. I don't know if showing him my craft would be very useful, as I'm clearly infusing a lot of magic in what I do, as opposed to straight smithing.
All right. I mean, people can be taught magic.
Yeah, I think Fritz would be not the kind of hoard knowledge, but so I think I will try to share what I've done that's not his, skirting the line of having permission to use a repeating kind of weapon, which I technically don't have yet, but heading that way, I'm sure.
Okay.
Just to try to spark the desire for creativity or innovation in this sad engineer once again.
Got it. Maybe building your a double-bladed axe musket will do it.
I mean,
You should look in the GM chat folder. Sorry, I should probably put that in the thread.
I mean, that looks directly from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Like pitch that to Tony for me, would you? Feel like I could do some damage.
I wonder, is the concept of a blunderbuss, like early shotguns, around yet?
They're comparatively archaic. The concept of the shotgun exists, and it's not right. Like, it's not as big of a deal as like the thing that these places are missing are rifling and cartridge based firing. Right.
Yeah, I guess having a decent shotgun would require cartridges.
You're muted.
I really like the idea that Yorha just has like a one and done looper style, hilariously inaccurate blunderbuss.
Yeah.
Like hilariously inaccurate, but you can't miss from within 15 feet.
.40 millimeter recoilless rifle.
Pretty much, yeah. Something that just fires just an enormous something.
Or just an enormous cloud of something.
Barbarian strength not to be knocked over backwards from when it fires.
Oh, you need like a
brace it against
gun.
a building before pulling the trigger.
Okay. Range. I don't need to aim.
So Thomas kind of like thinks about it for a bit, and then kind of goes back to mocking out plans for Yorha's gun axe gun. Is it more axe or more gun?
I mean, it's going to be used as an axe more often than a gun, probably.
Okay. Axe gun.
I mean, if you made the barrel of a gun part of a polearm, would that make it like a sniper? I don't know. Never mind.
Super accurate.
Yeah.
Until rifling, longer barrels don't do a whole lot.
Okay.
It's a good idea, though. All right, you guys gonna head towards? You've spoken with Thomas for quite a bit. Are you gonna head towards an inn? Are you gonna round up Snarathi and Vashla and head out?
Clearly, I don't feel any need to jump for this lady's request. I mean,
that's fair.
But I will go back and. Oh.
Please continue.
I was going to say, I at least want to let everybody know that we have an official request. I wanted to get I'm assuming that there's some sort of not like notary is probably the wrong word, but some sort of official secretary that I can get a signed statement of intent that we've been
told to do this.
Request. Yeah.
Get a paper trail.
Exactly.
I mean,
a doctor's note.
Like your Knights of the Realm.
Yeah, our word has weight.
Okay.
Like, if you were found to be misrepresenting your order or the peerage, it's more dramatic than otherwise, right? So they'll take your word for it, is what I mean.
Sure. Okay.
Most of us probably have a good alignment, right?
And if she decides that she's going to lie about it, then there's nothing. I mean, there's going to be a throwdown, right? Like, that's what wars are made out of.
There is a thing we can do about it. It's just not pretty.
Right.
Well, I mean, we take it to the Duke, wherever they are.
Yeah, and on up the chain.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you filled Snarathi and Vashla in. You all going to crash at the inn and move on in the morning?
Jordan, you have to say that.
Yeah. Jordan, you don't get to hide behind chat. You got to own up to it.
Let the Duke it out.
There you go.
Yeah, I said it.
Yeah. Not going to say take disadvantage.
But I said it.
No, it's good. It's good. All right, so yeah, last call for things in town. Otherwise, I'm going to push you forward because I want to do one last scene before we close for the night.
We each get a thing from this armory.
Yeah, yeah. You guys have a writ from the Countess, so that you can spend however you want.
Shield.
tell me more about that armor that was discussed earlier, the plate armor.
So specifically, it's made for um,
A human female.
Meredith Margaret. Yeah, it's designed for a human female.
Okay.
It's it's a story bit for his representing obsession.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's the rescue suit.
Okay.
But yeah, he is a master smith and a master armsman that is able to create arms and armor as needed, non-magical arms and armor until Fitz recruits him into the Ash Wardens.
I just want to say from a balance thing, like full plate is a big step up mechanically.
Mm.
So
It's a big deal.
I don't know that you want to hand any of us that at first level.
Can any of you wear it?
Jordan could.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Watch the strain in it.
Yeah.
She'd be
It'll
the
take
only
some
one.
time for him to make plates.
Yeah, there you go. Well, like
That's not a no. It's a yes and time.
Quadruple barrel gun shield.
that you can throw and it'll bounce off of things.
We have
Double
one
barreled
Marvel
musket.
joke. There's plenty. Double barrel musket's a cool idea. Like I came up with a fighting style for all these dudes with guns. It's pretty interesting.
I don't know that I want anything from them.
Get kata.
I mean, Sunrathi, you could use your token at the local inn to provide for people.
Yeah, like that's what I was gonna do, and also lay on of hands and give him guidance, because
Or
it seems like
smash
he
the
could use
system.
some.
Ask the system. Buy guns for commoners.
This is a wonderful idea.
I don't think that I don't think that happens yet. That's a yes and the and is time again.
I haven't even introduced the Inquisitor of this yet.
Oh, good. I just want to point out, Mike, that my ideal is tyrants must not be allowed to oppress the people.
Strange that. Weird.
Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, I'm gonna see if I can't inspire him. Like if he needs, I might hand him the chit and be like, "You just get a good night's sleep, dude." Like I know it's hard, but like that's
Beekeeper or Thomas,
Thomas the
the Ash Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just like get him to a better place. That's what he can do for me.
Drink some water, eat a meal,
Yeah.
sleep.
Like if he's wounded, I'll like cure wounds or healing word. Like
He's functionally taken fatigue damage,
okay,
so healing him will bring him back up in hit point wise.
okay.
If 5e is anything like 3-5, which it probably isn't, but there's still fatigue damage.
Yeah, there is fatigue. There are levels of fatigue, but
Yes.
yeah, I'll
A little different, but yeah.
I hand him the chit and be like, the best thing you can do with 4 hours is get sleep, my dude.
Okay. All right, last call, and then an expedited encounter because I'm like an entire two
Punch it.
encounters behind where I wanted to be.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess a crossbow or something.
Gun.
I mean, you don't have to have it right now. You can ask for
No.
it.
but
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. So the next night, are you following Countess Meredith Margaret? Margaret's words to the letter, or are you doing something else?
I mean, what do words to the letter imply?
She asked you to ride down the specific road on the way to Bisla.
Oh.
Bisnar, excuse me.
There's no way that's a terrible idea.
So, okay, so there's some sort of bandit ambush that we need to get hit by so that we kill them and save her ass, basically.
That's what your 16 in perception indicates.
Insight, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, is there any way we can spring the ambush and talk to these idiots first?
invariably. I mean, you're player characters. That's what you do.
We talk.
Yeah, you talk your ways out of problems. They'll listen to reason.
Yeah. I have 5 intimidate. Let's fucking go.
Yeah. If this is how she wants to abuse the Ash Wardens, then we need to make sure that this happens.
Let the
Yeah, it has to be her
sorcerer-
fault when things go wrong.
Let the sorcerer put the fear of God into these people.
Perhaps literally.
Put the fear of hope into them.
Oh God, not hope. Not even
Oh my god, it's change I can believe in.
roll it all back. All right, so you all rode down this road, and it's about a day's ride, like maybe like 3/4 of a day, and you get down to you're riding out of the city, which has mostly it's a hilly area, but it's not like the city itself is not built on a hill, just the castle itself is, and like and this entire region is like disturbingly flat and like ideal weather temperature. I don't know if you're from here, but if you're not from here, you're like, wow, today's a nice day. Like every day's a nice day in the Southern Kingdoms. Why would anyone not live here? Like, right, they all died. And about 3/4 of the way down from down one of the southern roads, heading out of Lorca, you come across Wizards of the Coast map. So, because this is copyright Wizards of the Coast on it. And you're coming around a bend, and you hear this little squeaky voice say, what ho! And specifically, you spot him, this little goblin guy, kind of like picking his teeth with the toothpick, sitting on a rock.
Does the goblin look diseased?
This goblin does not appear diseased in any way. He is wearing a rather foppish hat.
Just to be forgiven, these new peoples have strange fashion sense.
They don't wear blindfolds everywhere.
Yeah, I will point him out and approach.
He's just sitting on a rock, and he kind of waves up at you, or waves down to you. And says, that's are you wearing a shirt?
Certainly not.
Right, because it's like
A leather harness.
apparently these are dangerous roads because someone seems to have taken your shirt.
My shirt was lost in the Battle of Great Helm.
Of Helm's Shallow. Do you just get rezzed without shirts now?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not exactly sure how it works. Do I get res with clothes at all?
I don't
have
think
no
so.
idea.
If you're getting grown from a finger, then no.
Like, it doesn't say it brings back my stuff. It just brings
Right.
me back. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like my shirt is gone.
I was gonna
Probably
like,
incinerated.
No, your dragon has it. Your dragon wife.
We're gonna pull up to a cave, and there's gonna be like a closet full of my old stuff inside.
No, it's going to be outside the cave
Yes.
because you haven't been home in forever.
Just in a pile, moldering outside the cave.
So what can I do for you?
Well, we were simply hoping to, on the way on official business. If you have no trouble with us, we have no trouble with you.
Oh, fancy official business. So, he kind of like squints down at you, and then he rustles in his pack, and he pulls out a spyglass. He does the thing where he goes, whoosh, and like, with a flick of his wrist, it gets longer. And he kind of looks at the spyglass and looks at Jaws like, that's a fancy badge you have there.
Where is it attached for your right on the belt?
It's a belt buckle, right?
Okay.
Like it's the belt buckle on my kilt,
Yeah.
essentially, my war kilt. This is the symbol of the Ash Wardens, and We are not ones to be wasting time.
Oh, well, I'll go right to the point then. You know, your people spend a lot of time making the stuff that is quite frankly rightfully mine.
Does he look well fed?
Yeah, he looks perfectly fine.
Yours, you say?
Well, I mean, we were here first after your kind died out.
So that's second then.
That implies definitely not first, at the very least.
Yeah, I'm probably like gripping just the hilt really quick. Like I'm not like ready to pull it out. I'm just probably like have both my hands resting.
Does your hammer have a name?
No,
Goblin splatter.
I have not given it a name yet.
Is that a thing that dwarves do?
Yes, because
Okay.
all the paragons have like a favored weapon, and also
Right.
a bunch.
Well, tell you what. He kind of jumps on down from the rock, and he doesn't have any weapons. He's just a goblin wearing goblin-ish clothing, right? Like maybe he's got slightly fancier boots than normal, and his hat is definitely way out of his league. There's like a feather and thing. He kind of walks over and he says, "Look, you all look very well off, and I don't feel like I'm asking too much for just a couple of crowns to say, look, we understand that your people have been gone through a lot, and I don't think it's unreasonable.
Your intention extortion?
I mean, I don't really think it's extortion, right? You're just being honest about stealing from what was rightfully stolen from you. I mean, it's not stolen, repatriated. Like these buildings around here, for example. There's a farm nearby. That farm didn't come out of nowhere. Our people came by and built it on what was previously my land. So I am forced to sit here and ask very polite, very heavily armed people such as yourselves to perhaps maybe throw me a coin or two from time to time.
It appears as though you are under economic distress.
Well, I mean, as a business person, it's important that I frequently get more funds to continue my investment in the land around me. If I'm denied those funds, I'm not going to do any investments, if you understand what I'm saying.
You say this as though we should be concerned.
Well, I mean, good neighbors and all that. A rising tide lifts all boats.
Not sure that this is true. And we are very, very...
He's preaching us trickle-down gobinomics.
I'm trying to decide if your husband...
No, look, I'll show you. See, what you do is you think about the invisible hand of the mind. And, nah.
I really wish I had Mage Hand right now.
Yeah.
So he says, "Look, we'll dig a hole in the rock in the soil here, fill it with water, and I'll show you how the boat rises up, and like multiple boats. And it's really the same thing. You give me a little bit of gold, I go away, and I get to
Too
feed
small to have a tie.
my 5
any
goblin
sort.
kids."
I kind of really want to mess with him using message.
Oh my god.
I mean, look at it this way. I could have jumped out of the trees and stabbed you in the throat and took your stuff, but that's barbaric. There's no need for violence of any sort when we can just exchange, gold for money, time, information, that sort of thing.
How about we exchange the remaining time in my day for your life and walking away from here?
Wow, but I would feel like that would be devaluation of my time and my life, equally as important as yours, wouldn't you say?
I want to send him the message, "Boss, they found us."
Oh my god, do it.
Yup.
Like stage whispery? Doesn't it come through like loud and stuff?
They just hear the message. I don't know.
Well, that is an odd thing that I am hearing out of my ears. And
I shrug. Maybe I whistle innocently.
It is a confusion of mine because I do not understand where such a message is coming from. Seeing as how I have no one around in the bushes planning things uncouth to these kind adventurers who have not killed me where I stand.
I want to send another, like, boss, does that go?
Look,
It is good that we
Talked about
collectively
this.
understand the parameters of this discussion.
he's talking to the bushes, and the bushes, like, they're not giving any sign of indication whatsoever. Look, we've talked about this. There's no go.
What bush does he look at?
He's looking at this one right here. Right, there is no go. We talk. We use our words. That's why I don't have a knife.
Your words bore me, tiny one. We shall be moving on now.
But then I have the moral high ground if you do violence upon me, because I did not do violence upon you.
That's
That's
I'm not
important to
planning
me as a
violence. I am
goblin.
simply planning on moving on and leaving you
what?
here.
The road is a goblin territory. You would not invade sovereign goblin land without paying the toll, would you?
You don't recognize your sovereignty?
Yeah, we refuse to recognize your sovereignty.
Speaking as a princess
Goblin
from the
lands is
Southern
Jerusalem,
Kingdom,
so-
I have a bunch of questions regarding the sovereignty.
Well, okay, let's discuss that. And he pulls out this piece of paper and he says, as you can clearly see, this deed is signed to, he squints a little bit, Burks. BYRX. That's me.
It's
Boss, I thought you said that was a fake.
No, it's real. It's got my name on it. Shut up.
going to sort of amble, not towards the speaker, but just sort of past him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So he walks along with you.
Can I?
No.
Do I spot any tiny beady eyes in the bushes?
No, you see no tiny beady eyes anywhere in the bushes.
I just keep walking.
It's like, look, no. So, look, you're very large and capable of solving many problems. However, I don't know that you have considered what, like, a goblin spokesperson could do for you, for your image. You're not even wearing a shirt. Look at
Oh
my
my
hat.
gosh. Is he Chaucer?
look at my hat.
I have perhaps the best hat that I've ever seen, and you have no shirt. I'm surprised that you're wearing shoes, frankly.
Everyone in this party has great shoes. I'm a cobbler.
Okay, there you go. I've been forced to wear shoes. Need of a goblin hype man. Thank you. We are
You
traveling
say that,
under the
but have you ever
auspices
had a
of the
goblin hype
Ashen
man?
Wardens.
You have not. And for simply 1 crown a day, I can show you the value of. You know what? The first day is free. If you do not see the value of having a goblin hype man in the first day, then I go on my merry way. Otherwise, you need to pay me two crowns the next day, and then a crown each additional day.
Oh my god.
Boss, do we stabs him?
No, we don't stab them anymore. I told you that.
Walking down the path now.
Yeah.
And he's totally with you the entire way.
I'm probably looking to Sinrathi for some indication, like, do I stop this person or no? And how much force can I use?
I mean, now your highness behooves one of our station to show restraint and a degree of tolerance. And showing such restraint and tolerance is how we know we're better than others.
Okay, so now look at this. This is just the thing that you want. You look like the sort of guy that should shave a lot. And your is totally being the point. Is like you're scruffy. You're not clean shaven. Look at these goblin cheeks. Do I have scruff anywhere? No, perfectly goblin smooth.
Oh my
And
god.
this,
Goblins don't
this
grow
shaving moustache.
facial hair.
You've just because you've
What
never
with
seen
being
a
harshly
goblin with a
reptilian.
mustache doesn't mean we can't grow facial hair. In fact, that's a little bit racist, sir. I feel like my species have been impugned.
Science
Well,
cannot be racist.
I mean, it can be if you're a racist scientist. Didn't think of that one, did you, Beefy?
Boss, they're getting awful far from our bush.
Oh, yeah.
I got a good thing going here. Shut up.
You should march in front of us. A good distance.
I got them right where I want them. Trust me. They're picking up what I'm putting down.
Okay, I'm just gonna look over at Sinrathi again with like raising a quizzical eyebrow.
Now, look at this thing here. I call this a trap. He pulls this thing out. He's like, it's like a caltrop on a string sort of thing. It's like, yeah, you get real close to them. You put the caltrop down. And you run away, and then that's about it.
Is that what he's doing?
No. He's just like swinging it around, like showing us, like, yeah, that's a terrible idea. Never mind. And he throws it off in the. Now this thing over here, this is the brilliant one for you.
Does the bush yelp when the couch hits?
I think Smrathi makes it yelp, whether or not it actually yelps.
Yep. Oh God, boss, why? Can we not outwalk him?
He is all out running to stay with you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can't walk faster than the goblin. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, we have the cart, so.
Yeah.
What is pulling the cart, by the way?
To ask, actually, yeah. What is...
Yorha?
Like a donkey.
I haven't been having a conversation. I got like one side of the yoke under an arm.
It's why you're wearing the leather harness.
Can the donkey be named Cart?
No. We've done that joke. The donkey is clearly named Horse.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Okay, look. Now, you haven't tried to kill me, which, as far as I can tell, makes you the best humans that I've ever seen. Because most of them, they sit through one, maybe two of my jokes. And then they're like, get the booze. He does his best human accent.
It's pretty good, actually.
Only
Quick,
one of
rub
us
them
is
down with our
human.
credit cards. And you guys, you're good. I can tell. I can tell you're good because you didn't kill me. I have an eye for that sort of thing. I can tell when you're bad seeds. Yep.
An eye for when
so-
someone's attempting my murder.
Why are you going this way anyway?
I really wish I had different spells. Like silence.
As I said before, it's small one, and I'm like semi jogging at this point just to wear the thing down. We are on official business.
Yeah. But official for
There's
what?
The
I mean, you say that, but you're traveling through official Goblin lands. He pulls out his map again. His little his sign
Again.
again.
The Ash Wardens do not recognize goblin sovereignty.
Oh, Ash Wardens, eh? You know, there was a Goblin Ash Warden once upon a time.
I do not believe that is the case.
I think there was a goblin Ashley.
Yeah.
It was the biggest little guy you ever saw. That's how we like to think of him.
His name
You know,
was Little
goblins
Big.
Goblins can do a lot if you give us a chance.
Can they be quiet?
That's our one fatal flaw.
You had to use that word, didn't you?
Now, there's a Goblin Wizard who wants to cast silence over the whole village. It's the damnedest thing. The goblins died. Real sad. Couldn't talk to anybody. And goblins are very social creatures.
Are you sure the spell is silence?
So, yeah, where you
They
going?
got really quiet.
It started out as silence. It turned into cloud kill.
That's the wizard equivalent of I'll turn this car right around.
I'll turn this cloud kill right around. I've always wanted to learn magic.
Have you ever tried?
Oh, yep, every day. Every day I sit there and when I wake up in the morning, my little goblin hovel with my 6 goblin kids. I think, if only they could be
5.
quiet for 10
No,
minutes and I could get some more sleep.
Congratulations on your latest child. Maybe you should go to them. They seem hungry.
Yes.
Well, you can't go back to children without an empty stomach without some gold, right? Just a crown or two really eases them on their way to sleep.
I wouldn't know. I don't have any.
You should try having goblin kids. They're great.
No, gold.
You don't need gold.
No.
What are you? Pilgrims?
Of a sort.
Yes.
Oh, God. You have no gold?
Correct.
Why didn't you tell me that when I started?
This was funnier.
Ah.
I have a feeling this might kill him. Also, I really like that we have trolled him.
Okay. How about you give me some food? You got some food, right?
Sorry, we ate it all.
No, look at this guy. This guy doesn't eat 4 meals a day. He starts starving to death.
Planning on foraging en route, and I sort of look at him and finger the scythe at my side. with a
No, there's
sickle.
no way you eat roots. There's no way you're foraging on roots. You gotta eat some sort of meat.
I really hope you're his vegetarian.
Nuts and berries. It's just nuts and berries.
No tree bark like the elves used to.
He peels it off with disturbingly supple lips. Okay. So you got no gold. You got no. Nah, I don't believe I got it. It's a lie. Unless you're from one of those southern villages that don't have any.
Where
I
do
am
you think we just came from?
At the north. He points off to the north.
Swing and a miss, my good tiny sir.
Well, we're heading south. So where do you think we're going?
To Viz whatever? Biznar?
Did you
Biznar?
already say Goblin
Biznar.
Lands?
Yeah,
Biznar.
wouldn't you know? You claimed this was your road after all.
Oh, it is my road. It says right there.
And you don't know where it
is the coast.
and you don't know where it goes.
It goes to Visnar. Like I said. Look, 1, 2, 3. We'll say it at the same time. 1, 2, Visnar. See? Told you where I know where it is. You know what you need is a local guide familiar in Visnar customs.
And where might we find one of them?
Oh, my good man, you wound me. I right here. I am your white knight, Bubby.
Wait, what?
Bubby. I'm probably going to say something in Infernal, like, do you speak Infernal?
No, but my cousin speaks Infernal.
Well,
Wait, did you answer that after Sinner?
Yes. Well, if you could give me their number.
All right, well, how much Infernal conversations do you need to have? Is it because your horns? You know, I knew a goblin once that had horns like that. Half goblin, half, whatchamacallit? Tiefling?
Near enough.
Yeah, man. He was blue.
Did
Seen
that-
a blue goblin before? Damned odd.
Did that make him feel sad?
Yeah, he said it's not easy being blue. Would walk down the street, kick rocks, sing in swamps with a guitar.
What the hell does Taumaturgy do?
Fire.
It's trying desperately to find something to get rid of the goblin.
Well, no, I can use Taumaturgy to, like...
What about this guy? What is this? Some sort of gun? He walks over to Fitz and starts poking at your clearly gun harness.
Does he pull a pin off the bandolier?
He starts knocking on the grenades. Oh, these are cool. There's a goblin smith back in town that keeps trying to make these things, but not so good. You know, how about I buy one of these guns off you? One of these boom shoot things.
Give him one without a pin.
Boom tube. Boom tube sounds like a stupid name for a thing like Mother Box.
Yep.
How about you give me a gun and I treat you to all the sights and the sounds of Vizsla.
I think Fritz just continues to ignore this thing.
So here's the thing. I have been trained by the best goblin ignorers. And goblin ignorers, they don't get anything if we get ignored. So we're just gonna be persistent.
What are, Oh, that could be fun.
What?
I think I'm going to use Taumaturgy to create a sound that originates from a point of origin from my choice within range. What's a natural predator of a goblin?
Literally everything.
Fair. I think, like, has he seen inside the cart yet?
No.
I think I want to make, like, ogre noise. Maybe, like, ooh, like a rot goblin noise or something from inside the cart to make it sound like we're transporting rot.
So please kill me, whispers out from the cart.
Yeah.
Oh, that's disturbing. No, your carts don't want to be around no more.
Kill me. Please kill me.
Okay, so I don't carry weapons.
Brox, kill me.
But
Please, it has to be you.
okay, maybe if I borrow one of your guns for a second, or a sword or something. Look, beefy guy, give me that lance-looking thing.
I will hand him my weapon that is entirely too large for him to use.
Okay, so it turns out that I need some assistance here. How about
Every moment is agony, Brox.
Just hold it out and drop it at him, essentially.
he does his best to catch it and like drag it along the ground with you, and he keeps up with the wagon, but he's not going to ever be able to pick this thing up. All right, so you guys got to slow down or something to help me. Are you aware that your wagon wants me to kill it?
It's from within the wagon.
The
I
calls are
already
coming from
tried.
within the
You're
wagon.
free to try again.
Okay, well, all right, so yeah, I need like a goblin-sized weapon. You got a dagger or a pistol or like a, I don't know, a really finely worded lawsuit.
Like you, my friend, I go unarmed.
You're some sort of like mage caster, aren't you?
I don't know what you are talking about.
Yeah. You know all the mysteries. Kane, down with you, and you tell me all about how to magic missile the darkness.
Are you suggesting that because he's a tiefling?
That does sound rather racist of you, good sir.
You were just telling me that I couldn't amount to nothing or own land because I was a goblin.
I said no such thing.
I heard it in your voice.
Can we not just leave this guy in our dust yet?
I mean, you can, but he's gonna pop up next time.
That's fine.
Okay.
If he does, I will accidentally discharge a firearm in his direction.
You don't have any guns.
Fritz
Not
does.
for my axe gun?
Did we get your axe gun?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, Jesus.
Take a while.
And so you just have a glaive spare now.
I have an extra pointy metal weapon.
Yeah.
Pointy metal stick.
Okay.
All right, my distraction only now worked at him. I managed to managed to avoid it for like 20 minutes.
Okay.
All right, yeah, so we'll go ahead and close. You did not kill the goblins, which I was trying to goad you into.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, neither did you take full advantage of all the things the goblins could provide. So they'll be back for another realm of comic relief and or
Next time we'll have Aaron.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
god.
Yeah, the next time
It's-
the bloodbath will come in.
Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the goblins because
Yeah.
they're gonna die.
Next session, Aaron's gonna be like, so if I like stab him hard enough, is there any chance that like his 3 friends could die from just the trauma of watching this thing being like eviscerated?
Yes.
Which is always a yes and.
Yeah. Yes, and you're a horrible evil creature.
Cool.
All right. This has been Knights of the Ashen Empire, episode 1 of many, I think, because this was a crazy amount of fun, and I expect to see horrible things in our near future. If you like us, like, share, subscribe on social media. We're on the Twitters and the Twitches and the YouTubes and the Jello Pudding Pops.
And we still have a Patreon because they decided to maybe suck less.
Yeah, and for the foreseeable future, they'll suck less, but perhaps they're going to suck more on them. Yeah, they were trying to solve a problem, and they made 5 bigger ones. So don't do that, Patreon. We love you. Well, I mean, we don't love you. We kind of have like a...
We have a business arrangement with you, and it's mutually beneficial.
Yeah.
But yeah, that does it for us, I think.
Yeah, so thanks so much for your time. I hope you had fun. Please us a line or two to tell us how much you enjoy the goblins and which party member they should replace.
The whole party.
Yeah.
I'll be
Like,
perfectly honest.
by himself.
I'll be perfectly honest. If the goblin had shown up and he was wearing like a clock on a medallion and he was actually going to Flavor Flav for us, really into that. But
Okay.
Also, if we get TPK'd, I am definitely down for coming back as like an uprising of shitty goblins.
Anyway, I play 3 goblins.
Yeah.
So they gotta have a goblin city accent.
Combined, they have D4 hit points.
Are they just standing on each other's shoulders?
Yeah.
Yeah.
can I call it now in that the campaign will end with us assaulting the castle with an army of goblins we've given weapons to?
Probably.
Oh my god, we should give
Stolen
them all
guns.
the guns.
Yeah.
The chips.
All right.
So I hope I laid. Yeah. Peace, y'all.
Hey, everybody.
Night.